Go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Sky Mosley for your hometown conservative newspaper, the Alabama Gazette. Published in beautiful downtown Montgomery, serving the river region and central Alabama proper for over 24 years, always under the banner of God, family, and country. You can find the Gazette at many fine business establishments throughout the area, and an excellent value for your advertising dollar. The Gazette provides you with a ready-made audience that shares your values, beliefs, and principles. Give them a call, 356-6700. Advertising with the Alabama Gazette is surprisingly affordable and extremely effective. 356-6700, the Alabama Gazette. Honest, informative, trustworthy, your conservative alternative newspaper. Real local news from real local people. The Alabama Gazette, they are most worthy of your support. Pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. 356-6700, give them a call. The Alabama Gazette, the people's paper.
Do you want more online safety and privacy? I know I do. That's why I started using NordVPN. It guards me against various internet threats. Digital trackers, malicious websites, and malware-infected downloads, back off. I choose to browse with more confidence. I choose NordVPN.
To avoid digital threats, turn on NordVPN. It's trusted by millions of users. Just visit NordVPN.com. One of the fastest VPNs on Earth will block web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. It will also encrypt your internet traffic while maintaining a smooth connection. So improve your digital privacy and protection against hackers with one simple click. Get the special deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Can you get a cough, please?
I'm also very much of a germaphobe, by the way.
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
Stop playing with it.
I got hairy legs.
I got worms.
How dare you?
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Shut up, silly woman. You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way you got worse than this.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and I'm not alone today, folks. Not by any means. In the studio with me, my trusty sidekick with his smart glasses. Very smart. You're looking so handsome today, if I could quote your mother.
Man. All right, so I'm struggling with the new glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, I see better.
They look smart. You look handsome.
Okay, Mom. I see better, but my face sweats, and this makes it even worse.
We also have Craig Monger of 1819 News.
But I love his shirt.
Hi, thank you. Not as much as I love your glasses. It looks like you took them off a lady named Edna over a game of canasta.
I know Edna. She wears much cooler glasses than this.
But she's a lousy canasta player.
She's not too good of a fork truck driver either. But
so where to begin today? Where to begin? Oh, yeah. These women in politics, they're out of control.
I agree.
Now, I'm not talking about the suffrage movement. That's old hat. That's over and done with.
Are you down with women's suffrage, by the way? Are you down?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Thought so. Thought so.
Why not?
Thought so.
So many people supported it because they thought it meant like that they would suffer more.
Right.
Those sneaky women and
Right.
their marketing.
It's like, why does the Republican Party have a problem with women?
Powerful, strong women.
Oh, yeah, strong women, right. No, but here's what I mean. The women in Congress, a lot of them are out of control. Just look at Lauren Boebert. Just look at her.
Yeah.
What? She's a woman on the move.
Right. Well, she tweeted out that she was going to, like, Iowa to help beat off the competition. And a lot of folks saying, I'm the competition, I'm the competition, I'm the competition. Please help me. Martin.
Is Beetlejuice running anywhere?
Then Nancy Mace doing all sorts of stuff. I think Nancy Mace is so personally obnoxious that her actual chief of staff is running against her and primarying her.
Oh, wow.
So that's something's going on there. But here's what I'm talking about today. I don't know if it's true or not, but Nikki Haley's in the news.
Oh, yeah?
And it's not one of her crappy stump speeches. We need something better. We don't need chaos. We need more Bush Republican neocon crap. That's what Americans want.
Ah, that's what she's selling.
Yeah. Well, but Nikki Haley is in the news because apparently, according to the Daily Mail, that rag across the pond, she engaged in 2 affairs based on sworn affidavits and witness testimony that was just released. She had 2 affairs before she became governor in South Carolina.
Oh, you mean like extramarital?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And one of the guys was married. So I guess that's not exactly what we mean by.
Well, I mean, it's women and equal rights, and that's Joey. Men do it all the time.
This is my point.
They do. It's in politics. It's rampant.
So is this like another hurdle that you have to overcome to be a politician? You have to have an affair?
Starting with suffrage for women. I mean, women have to be more and more like men. That's the rule. If we're going for true equality, they have to be more like men. They need to be able to, clean and press like 245 at least.
No, I guess I'm not a man.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Not without you being essentially a physiological male on a hormonal level.
Have you seen CrossFit?
I have, and they don't drug test in CrossFit. I'll just say that. Otherwise, they'd melt that little plastic cup.
I'll have you know that Tia Clark Toomey was a medalist before, and they don't drug up in the Olympics.
Oh, of course
Nobody's
not.
doping.
Nobody. There's not entire doctors that are learned in that field, hired by Olympic teams specifically to beat drug tests and dope them up. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen at all.
No, it doesn't happen at all. But also, and I've been calling this, that the more women take on what were traditionally roles for men, positions of power often, like you're seeing this in studies where women are the breadwinners in the household.
Right.
Yeah.
You're seeing this as more women take on, say, positions of power in business, but certainly in politics. And what do we keep saying? We were saying this the other day, last week, about men. Keep your pants on.
Well,
if you're in politics, if you have all these responsibilities, keep your daggum pants on. And I was thinking mostly the dudes out there.
Right.
But now we got to say it about the women.
Why, they can't keep their skirts on? Got to say the pants?
I don't keep saying pants.
Okay. Now, does this make you uncomfortable because women are doing this?
No.
And
I really could give a damn about Nikki
are you
Haley's
feeling
personal
threatened
sex
by
life.
these strong women that one might come snatch you up?
Now, I just love that it betrays this idea that there's something uniquely different about women in power than men in power.
I see.
Like, I think there are slight differences because there are differences between men and women, obviously.
Yeah.
But my point is that I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care if you're black or white. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Power is an intoxicant for all of you, and power has side effects that show up in pretty common ways that have shown up that way throughout human history. So you could be a man, you get a lot of power, and you just start sleeping with a bunch of women. But I'd imagine if you become a woman with a lot of power, and don't bring up Queen Elizabeth to me. She's the exception that proves the rule.
Well, also, you don't have to have a lot of power to sleep around.
Well, I know.
That's 100% true. There's state lawmakers that come on, and
dog
it's like
catchers?
they have a modicum of tenuous power, and they look like the visible equivalent of chewed up bubble gum, and they have mistresses too. It doesn't take a whole lot of power in
Right.
order to throw it around in order to get extramarital relations. So it is hilarious that that's the case. But it is funny that with women, who typically just in general, based on the sexual marketplace, have the pick of the litter.
Yes.
And then it
Well, they don't have the pick. They
Top
just there's
shelf, Joey.
there's a
I
lot
told
of
you, top shelf.
comparatively.
okay.
to
Because
men.
I was going to say there are a lot of pups in that litter.
Yeah.
Some of the pups don't want to deal with you. You just got to pick of
Unless
the
of course
runt.
they're your teacher, in which case that's a problem. I'm just saying it's a problem. It's an
It is a
actual problem.
Yeah, it's a
I
problem.
agree with you. No, it really is
Can't
a
argue
problem.
with that.
But it's fascinating. Like I love, because it's the classic cliche. If women ruled the world, we wouldn't have as much war and all this. I'm like, no,
What?
I don't think you understand how
Dude, I
power in the
grew up
world
in a
works.
house full of women.
Mhm.
5 sisters and a mother and a great grandmother.
Mm.
It was not a peaceful household. Let me go ahead and tell you.
But just think about like famous women rulers and were they not just bogged down in conflict? You can think of Margaret Thatcher,
Iron
Mary
Maiden.
Queen of Scots.
Mhm.
Helena Troy wasn't exactly in power, but she caused a whole lot of problems if those old writers are to be believed.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But apparently, the story is Haley denies claim she cheated on her husband Michael before she became South Carolina governor in 2010, saying she was 100% faithful. Now, multiple GOP insiders tell the DailyMail.com that they were intimately aware of Haley's infidelity at the time, saying it was totally out in the open. Communications consultant Will Folks, 49, and lobbyist Larry Marchant, 61. Both signed affidavits in 2010 alleging that they had a sexual relationship with Haley.
Whoa. Dude, would they put a gun to her head? You gotta sign that? I want you to sign.
It's
You
a
had an
sworn
affair.
affidavit, yeah.
I would just dodge getting served for quite some time.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't Sarah Palin get? Wasn't there accusation of Sarah Palin having an affair back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, there was crazy. Yeah, there was some.
It was like a
crazy
jet
stuff.
ski salesman or something like
Well,
that.
you'll remember seeing Todd. Are you that
Oh,
surprised?
Todd was a man's man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, Todd's
He
man.
was too much of a man.
Very manly.
And then you get some of these dainty effete, like smart boys up there in D.C. hanging out, into the wee hours of night. We gotta pass this budget, but we won't. We'll do a continuing resolution,
Right.
and then say we just ran out of time. But we got to work into the wee hours of the night. And we know what work means up there.
Yeah.
So I just saw that today and said, well, here's another data point confirming what I've believed for a long time. So whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're running for president or not, hey, keep your pants on. Simple as that. Now, there's also plenty going on in politics. We could go into Washington and all the
chicanery.
Yeah, like the budgetary trickery that's going on up there. Apparently this border deal that a lot of the Senate is pushing is just crap.
Yeah.
Like, it's more money for the border,
Right.
but there's all these loopholes for the Biden administration to still let a bunch of people in, while they also get, $60 billion more for Ukraine. Well, and speaking of, again, this maybe is a victory for women's empowerment. Now the Ukrainians are celebrating that they're drafting women to go fight the Ruskies.
Yeah. Well, they're already drafting up to 70.
Yeah, old men, disabled
Right.
people,
You
young,
go
like
right to the front.
12, 13, 14-year-olds.
Right to the front.
Yeah. So it's like everything's going great. And so, of course, if that's going on, where you're sending women, mothers and daughters to the front lines to go take on kamikaze drones and, tanks and all sorts of other artillery means the Russians have, that's true empowerment. That's equal. We have to fund this to the tune of $60 billion.
I have a feeling that feminism is going to see a drastic decline in Ukraine in the upcoming weeks. It's
not
like,
only
what war? I was making a lasagna.
It more feels like they're eliminating the population. And if we're forcing this, aren't we not contributing to what will be looked on as a genocide?
Yeah, but we won't call it that, and we'll write the history book, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. We don't call things the way they are. The way that the Biden administration just said, we're not at war with the Houthis. It's like, what really? Because I think some Navy SEALs boarded a ship to try to mollywop a few of them. It's like, how is that not a war? We bombed them on their land, their missiles in Yemen.
That's just a kinetic action.
Yeah.
That's not war.
It's not war.
That's not war. Eddie, I'm about to throw a kinetic action your way. Watch out.
Bring it. I got my shield.
Yeah.
You'll see it coming too from like a mile away with those glasses.
Do you like them?
So we have plenty to get to, but I kind of want to focus in on this. Now I got it done with my rant about yay for women
better?
being equal.
It's really not helping your case to be pro-woman if you're always saying that these women, once they get power, become kind of slutty. It's like you're...
No, the way that you, in this day and age where everything's relative, and it's just about who has the power, the way you celebrate women's advancement is you celebrate their vices.
Diamonds?
No, diamonds. Well, that's just sexist.
That's sexist?
Oh, my goodness. No, but you celebrate their vices. Like, men have been getting away with this for a while. Now women get to get away with it.
They can get away with it anyway.
Right.
That's the part I don't get.
Yeah, but not in the same way.
It is different, Eddie. You have to admit that it's different.
It's different.
Only in their mind.
Like when you're the one in charge. You know what that's like?
I've been in charge. It's not like great.
Yeah?
Yeah. Write 2 letters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's done and over with. It's just like politics is so nasty. Who gives a damn about Nikki Haley's affair from what, 13 years ago? If she had one, like, I don't.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I like sincerely, I do. I don't. The people that I would want to elect, I want to believe have a certain amount of virtue, and I've watched a lot of movies.
Sure.
And the person having the affair is never the good guy.
Fair enough.
However, redemption, it's 13 years ago.
Yeah, redemption is, hey guys, I'm sorry, I did X, Y, and Z. Please forgive me, or for God's sakes, just step out of public life. If you're someone who can't keep it in your pants. The it here being very, very fluid since we're talking across genders.
I'll amend my point because I agree with you. I don't care about Nikki Haley personally. It isn't like, no.
She could get hit by a bus and I'd sleep like a baby. I don't care.
Like, what a deal breaker. But the general point of if somebody's going to cheat on their spouse or the person they claim to love and be faithful with, what makes you think they won't cheat on you, so to speak,
so
as a voter?
You feel better about Hillary Clinton over her because Hillary Clinton's never got busted cheating on Billy?
What do you think that is?
Oh, for several reasons.
I think her
kink
there's
has
not
to
enough
do...
alcohol
for one.
Yeah. I think her kink more falls in the line of murder. She doesn't need to sleep around. She gets off on killing human
Snuff
beings.
Movies. Yeah, I got it.
Again, and what did men do throughout history? Murder. This is women being empowered. Oh, but what we're going to get to is another very wholesome topic. Exclusive preview from 1819news.com.
Yeah.
House lawmakers to introduce gambling bill with a lottery, sports betting, and Class 3 casino gaming.
It's the whole kit and caboodle, fellas.
It's a lot. Now, this was written up by, I believe, Bradley Cox.
My boy Bradley, what's up?
And Bradley writes, as the Alabama legislature prepares to gavel in on February the 6th, work on new comprehensive gaming legislation has already begun. According to officials who spoke to 1819 News, lawmakers plan to introduce a bill that will include Class 3 casino gaming, a state lottery, sports book gaming, and the creation of an Alabama Gaming Commission.
Oh.
The taxes and fees from this bill would be split between the education budget and general fund budget. Lottery funds would be directed to the education budget, and the Class 3 and sports betting revenues would benefit the state's general fund budget. According to Governor Ivey's 2020 study group on gambling policy, gambling could produce as much as $710 million annually in revenue for the state. The report estimated a lottery could generate $200 to $300 million, casino gaming $300 to $400 million, and sports betting only $10 million, which surprises me.
Nah, I think that's
I think it's a little bit.
I think all of them are a little off, but I think that one's a little on the weekend.
Now, Alabama's constitution currently prohibits gambling. However, 18 constitutional amendments allow certain forms of gaming in certain portions of the state. Those amendments have caused a series of controversies, and depending on which official you speak to, the answer to their legality changes. It really is.
That's 100% true.
All up in there.
It's so convoluted. It makes zero sense.
Well, and because each amendment's different, right?
Yes.
But again, is this one of those bills where they know the people want a gambling bill? So, okay, we'll give them one. We'll give them one that's so messed up from the get-go that it won't go anywhere. We can say we tried.
I can promise you that is not the case.
Not the case on this.
That's not the case. Now the reason it was rumored that they were going to be doing a special session in the middle of session in order to get this taken care of.
Okay.
The fact that they are not, that is not the scuttlebutt no mo, would tell you that they don't They're not confident they have the votes. And I'm hearing in the Senate specifically, even though there's plenty of members of the House that I've spoken to personally that are not okay with this.
So, officials speaking to 1819 on the condition of anonymity. Well, Nikki Haley wouldn't like that.
No, she wouldn't.
Said the bill to be introduced in the House this year would repeal all 18 constitutional amendments at the local level. The legislation will also attempt to crack down on illegal gaming in Alabama, taking it from a misdemeanor and increasing it to a felony with substantial financial penalties. Penalties will also increase for multiple offenses. To replace the constitutional amendments, the bill will allow Class 3 gaming in certain areas of the state with an open bidding process. The areas would include locations operated by the Porch Band of Creek Indians on their federally recognized tribal lands: Birmingham, Macon County, Greene County, Lowndes County, Houston County, Mobile County, and an undetermined county in northeast Alabama. Before bidding for locations within these areas, the local governments may either authorize gaming in their city county by a local resolution or allow the people to vote to allow for gaming in their community. Once a bid has been approved, a phase 1, it's like Austin Powers, like the warm liquid goo phase, the unfreezing process. But phase 1 clause will require a specific time frame for construction to begin with a minimum investment. Each Class 3 gaming operation licensed by the commission may also apply for one sports gaming license. All other sports gaming licenses not associated with a Class 3 gaming establishment will be issued via the commission. Online sports betting will be allowed. However, no other types of gaming will be allowed online. If you can stop me, Alabama. Seriously. If somebody really wants a game online, they're going to figure it out.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Like,
really not
does
that
a VPN do
Yeah,
it?
you do a VPN
Right,
and
yeah.
hop on these online gaming sites. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, okay. Officials emphasized this bill would not legalize gambling in Alabama if it passed the legislature. On the contrary, it would substantially reduce the number of gambling establishments in the state due to the crackdown on illegal gaming. As a constitutional amendment, if the bill passes, the legislature, with the required 3/5 of majority in both chambers, voters would then get to decide via a ballot measure, most likely during the November general election.
I still don't understand that move. That move makes no sense to me, and it's a criticism of the bill itself is to have it on the November ballot, which if you think about who typically is desirous of gambling and wants to have gambling, they typically lean more Democratic than Republican. So and we see what AL2 is looking like. You had Brubaker in here the other day talking about it. Essentially, I feel like if you put this on the November ballot, you are giving up a congressional seat.
Wow. Well, and this is the question. I would say this is better. Not saying it's good. I'm saying it's better than what was proposed with like Del Marsh and folks a few years back.
Del Marsh's was dead on arrival. Like there was no way.
This one has at least like that open bid process. It seems to be a little more let the people decide, let a commission decide. We're not going to decide everything within the amendment itself. But I'm still a little skeptical about the effect.
And you should be. I mean, when you talk about commissions, and again, people that I've talked to about it, the commission's going to be appointed. Typically how these things are broken up between the governor, the Speaker of the House, the pro tem, et cetera, et cetera. And, there's going to be a commissioner and then subcommittees dealing with each aspect of gambling. There's always the room for corruption there, at least the speculation of corruption, especially when the largest lobbying group we have in the state is in charge of the casinos that we do have currently, even though they don't want to admit that there's a casino. And yeah, it's going to be weird. The bidding process is going to be capped. So it's not like some out-of-state interest or the biggest interest in the state, the Porch Creeks, can just outbid. It's going to be a flat rate. The number's subject to change, but I'm hearing it's $5 million. A $5 million flat rate. You apply, and then they pick from there. So that prevents someone from like coming out of state and dropping $100 million on the table and outbidding everybody.
But hold on, Governor Ainsworth, I thought if I made I-65 wider, I would get Trump casinos.
To the Trump casino.
Trump casinos on the Redneck Riviera.
Why would you not?
Well, it doesn't mean that an out-of-state entity can't open a casino in the state. As far as I know, I don't believe that's a provision of the bill. But it prevents someone with bukus of cash from coming in and just sweeping
dominating.
everybody.
Now, is there a limit on how many casinos we can have?
Yeah, I think
In
the
that bill?
limit is in these areas that they
Okay.
laid out. Again, those are what the PCI, of course.
Yeah.
Birmingham, which is what? That's the old what?
Green Track?
No, that's Green Track's in Greene County.
Yeah.
Birmingham's one of the horse historical betting, I think, and there's an old facility up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and these specifically, these counties that are listed in the story are only the ones where the Porch Creeks have already federally appointed land.
Okay.
So they can open them there. There will be additional counties that are open.
And then Macon County's where Victory Land currently is?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though that looks like it's run down.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Birmingham, Macon, Greene County, Lowndes County, or as I've heard it put, Lowndes, Houston County, Mobile County, and an undetermined county in northeast Alabama, what, Madison?
Thank Jackson.
So no Elmore, no Montgomery, nothing right around here.
Nah, but we can drive over shorter.
Well, I was just curious, and you kind of answered my question.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if they were trying to say, we'll let you open a casino, but not where Porch Creek Casino already is.
I mean, again, I'm not entirely sure. There's going to be so much debate, and I haven't laid eyes on the actual bill. I'm not even sure the actual bill is done yet.
Okay.
But we obviously, Bradley and I talked to several people, and it's looking like it's a possibility that the only counties that would be allowed to open a gambling establishments are those that currently have them. And so whether or not that leans more favorably to the Porch Creeks is going to have to do with what the commission decides. So I still don't know if it's every county, because other county commissions, it's in there that they will have to approve to have to either approve a casino or gaming in their county, but if they want to kick the can down the road, they can just make it on the ballot. They can put it on the ballot. So that's what I'm hearing, at least.
And again, this is folks speaking to 1819 News on the condition of anonymity.
Yes.
So this is not some officially pre-filed thing. We don't have the actual language of the proposed law, which is crucial. It's something this big. You need to look at the details. But say they, like, just generally, the devil is in the details, but say the general concept of gaming. So class 3 casino gaming, sports betting, lottery. You think that package sold in sort of like a bumper sticker way, do you think the people of Alabama would vote for that?
I do. There are some reasons to be concerned of a casino in your area bringing certain elements of criminality, like not that ever happens in the casinos that are already in Alabama.
Yeah, right.
And so people are concerned about that. They're also concerned about the negative impact to the local economy because, I mean, if you're spending money at a casino, you're not spending money elsewhere. That's just pure economics. So while those are the concerns that people will have, I think in general people kind of have a do what you want to do attitude about it, and also there is the thing of the money finding its way into our budget, our state coffers, in order to help with things. I think they're going to try to, obviously it's going to the Education Trust Fund, so they're going to make a big deal about it helping education, even though the Education Trust Fund helped build a water park recently.
That's just an investment. We'll be selling it for $1 down the road.
Wait till the Olympic trials get here.
Right.
That's when that water park will really take off.
Yeah.
I mean, at least prestigiously, I didn't say monetarily. There's a lot of ways to take off.
There's too many jokes I want to make.
Oh, I know.
There's just so many. There's just too many, but also they're the ones that could possibly get you out of a job. So I'll just...
Another question about that. Is there any kind of wording in there about a gambling regulation where the casinos are somewhat regulated, where the give back or the take, I guess you'd say, is regulated? Like they can only keep 45% of what they're...
I'm sure they'll be taxed out the wazoo, but I don't. The specific numbers, the numbers that I have heard, are not going to be the numbers that are in there. That's just the way that this thing works. But I haven't heard a specific number about that. There's obviously going to be some sort of licensing fee that they're going to have to pay the commission, and I imagine that's going to be humongous.
Right, the commission will be.
I need to be that guy.
I'd imagine the commission would be setting a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and I've heard. By the way, I've also heard that the commissioner is going to have a dope salary. Great salary.
Well, because you don't want them. I get that. You don't want that guy to be easily bought, which with the amount of money to be flowing around.
So we'll buy him.
Okay. Yeah. No, but that's the idea.
No, I mean, there's a lot to be concerned about. I mean, obviously, you know my perspective on this. I think people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do with their own money, whether they want to gamble themselves out of house and home. That's their prerogative. That being said, there are people that do have some concerns, but in general, I think most people share a little bit of my attitude. You're going to have your fuddy-duds and your standard sort of Christian types that sort of shuck immediately at the idea of gambling as being a vice. Right. And so I think that will be a loud group, but I don't think it'll be a group significant enough to vote it down if it ends up on the ballot, which I honestly don't see happening.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant, apprehensive, because it's such a big change. I'd want to see the details.
Devil's in the details.
But in principle, I think you're right, Craig, in the sense that this is presented, the general idea is presented to the people of Alabama. They'll probably vote this in.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a majority that would vote for it, that would approve of it. But the question is the legislature. What are legislators hearing from their constituents? What are legislators hearing from business owners? What are they hearing from their local governments and all this? And if local governments don't want this in their area and they communicate that to their lawmakers, well, then that's the way that they're going to vote. So, which is why I said, trust me, I know for a fact, I know I could tell you names if I wanted to of people in the House who are vehemently against this.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're going to make that well known during the session. But right now, as far as the votes are concerned, the Senate is a problem for this. The Senate is a big problem. I've sat down and with Bradley and him and we've done the math, and as of right now, it just doesn't work out.
Well, I just hope this doesn't take up all the oxygen in the session, because I would love to see them hit the home runs. I think most people want to see them hit, like, say, school choice. A few big things like that could really do us wonders.
Well, that's another interesting part about no special session is if they bring gambling early in the session, then the motivation for those who are maybe in the middle or leaning towards no, they now have an incentive to approve the gambling measures so that they can get to the bills and the things that matter to them. So I think if there's two ways that could happen. Sense. They could drop it really early in order to do that, but they also might not do that if they're not confident that would work and get them the votes that they need.
Well, we shall see, but we got to hit a break here. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And Eddie, you were using them even before they were a sponsor, right?
Oh, yeah. And the nice thing about them, like if you go to their Facebook page, we talk about it. They've got a super active Facebook page. But they're right now, we were talking about this last year, German roaches. And they've got a little write-up about German roaches, the whole lifespan of them, how disgusting they are. And honestly, and Zach and I have talked about this, there's a smell. When you go in a house that's really infested with German roaches, there's a smell about it, man. And so and you and I talk about this too all the time, and I take advantage of it. They are my everyday pest control folks. They do my Airbnb, they do my rental properties. And so having them there is like an extra set of hands and eyes on the property. If they see anything, they certainly let me know. But the nicest thing is I don't have any problems because they take care of it. I don't see La cucarachas. I don't have those German cockroaches. I have seen a scorpion. Made me scream a little bit. But for the most part, I never have issues. They call me up. They let me know when they're coming. And then afterwards, after they go, they call me back and they send me a report, let me know how everything was. Great company.
Again, folks, that's Pest Pro Services. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you could always go to ppsriverregion.com. I really encourage you to search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Very active Facebook page. And one thing I love about them, Eddie, is they're always giving back.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, they're always giving back to the local community. So check out that page for not just tips on pest control, but on great events they're always doing here in the River Region. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. And don't forget, folks, when you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. More News and Views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River Region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hey, Montgomery drivers, why aren't you driving a new Toyota yet? Drive the best for less event at Toyota Montgomery, where we make it easy to drive the best, safest, and most reliable cars on the road. Come in today and drive the best, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month. Or take over the road in the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. And Toyota Montgomery makes it easy to upgrade your old vehicle by giving you more for your trade. So, what are you waiting on, Montgomery? Drive the best for less before these offers end on January 31st. At Toyota Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Camry MSRP $30,958. RAV4 MSRP $28,214. 12,000 miles per year for 39 month leases. With $36.38 to its signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit. Plus tax, tag, title, and $995 doc fee.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Reward yourself and your home with beautiful new flooring from Georgia Floors Direct. Since 1969, GFD has guaranteed the lowest prices on the largest inventory of all types of flooring. Visit or call today. Georgia Floors Direct, Eastern Boulevard, across from Lowe's.
I'm Brett Lanham from Benjamin Moore New Look, and we couldn't have imagined how easy, affordable, and flexible advertising on the radio could be. It has been near effortless on our part. You could say our last 2 years have been the best in 10 because of a skyrocketing GDP. I say it's owed to Blue Water Broadcasting and their advertising staff.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. Like it or not, a brand new fresh supply of Arctic air has engulfed the state. Today, windy, colder, high temperature, only in the mid to upper 40s, but that gusty northwesterly wind, occasionally gusting to 20 miles per hour, will make it seem a lot colder. Tonight, another hard freeze, clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 19. Saturday, the sun is out, but the high temperature only makes it into the 30s, perhaps 37. We are back to the teens on Saturday night, maybe 17 for the overnight low. Sunday still chilly, high only in the mid-40s. Much warmer next week, 57 Monday, 63 on Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. Now, earlier in the week, we were talking with Jeff Poor. You know that guy, right, Craig?
Who?
Jeff Poor?
Jeff Poor?
Yeah.
I prefer Jeff Rich. Yes, I know Jeff. I'm sorry, boss, if you're hearing this.
No, he was bringing up some reporting Laniap did when I was on his show, and we brought it up on this show, too, on Wednesday, where Kay Ivey, not only high-stepping, but jet-setting. All over this beautiful state of ours, and it made me think, has anybody ever seen Kay Ivey and Ric Flair in the same room together?
That is a solid point.
I kind of hope not either.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Ric Flair loved his dram.
Yeah, he did.
It hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, now Governor Ivy got that much cooler if it's true.
Yeah.
Dude, as long as she's wearing that stuff from the Django set, she's good to go.
Yeah, I sincerely want to know where she gets her clothes. It's so unique. But you wouldn't expect anything less from someone.
No,
Oh,
like
well,
she gets it. It's a store called Candyland.
Yeah.
when she puts out there, she's a high stepper. I'm like, okay. I mean, look how she's dressing. That's how a high stepper dresses.
You will?
My goodness. So let's get into the Washington, D.C. nonsense, but with the Alabama focus. You wrote this up for 1819 News, Craig, about the congressional delegation for Alabama being split on the CR. The great news is that both senators this time, both Britt and Tuberville, said, right, this is not the way we should be governing.
Yes. Yeah. The continuing resolution, which was oddly phrased whenever I actually looked through it, it's just I think there was some sort of clerical error, but that's beside the point. But yeah, Katie Britt, she voted for the continuing resolution in November,
right?
And she declined to vote this time. Tuberville voted no on both of them, but yeah, it seems like. I mean, it could just be political messaging, but it also could be just a realization of this is preposterous. This is ridiculous. We can't keep doing this. And she pointed out what everyone knows, which is that House Majority Leader Schumer is wanting to go for an omnibus bill again and not vote on them individually for the funding reasons that you talked about before, the border provisions that do nothing good,
right. Ukraine,
and the funding for Ukraine.
Well, and think about this. What, Senator Britt is elected in 2022?
Yes.
And right after, and the red wave that wasn't also happens at that time.
Correct.
Right. And it became the trickle, so to speak. And then there was this lame duck session of Congress. And on the way out the door, Dick Shelby.
Yep.
And Pat Leahy.
Yep.
Mr. Zuckerberg, who made this meme? Well, Senator, we have answer the question.
Give me a name.
Anyway, that guy and Richard Shelby, on the way out the door, with Schumer and McConnell's help, they pass what are now the spending levels we're still operating off of. They didn't even elect the newly elected Congress with Kevin McCarthy to get in there and do an actual budget. They did a CR right at the end of the year, right around Christmas, like they did this year.
Got together, man.
And we've been operating off those levels ever since those two old goats retired. And it's like, are we going to actually govern? We're still working on a budget that isn't even a budget set up by two 80-something-year-old men that aren't even in this body anymore?
Right.
Like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Again, if it wasn't government, if that was a business, would you let two guys that are literally will be out of here tomorrow make the budgets for coming up?
Oh, young man, you need to watch your tone with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I enjoy my life, so I will say nothing about Mr. Shelby. He was a great senator.
I think I have a death wish, because I think I've criticized Governor Ivey, Richard Shelby, Katie Britt, Mike Rogers. And I don't think, of all those, I think Mike Rogers is probably the one who has the most cause.
Right, yeah. What did you criticize Rogers for?
That was the one that said, dude looks like Alabama's Liz Cheney.
And that Velcro top that he wears.
No, and then like I went after Will Ainsworth, but that was with love. I just thought it was funny to call him Goose.
Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's probably going to do well for the state.
I don't think that has gotten the traction that it deserves.
It does deserve more.
So like Ivy's Meemaw, I think Ainsworth should be if he ever runs for governor. I think he should be the Golden Goose. I think that.
Yes,
I think that should be his moniker.
It's the Golden Goose Alabama needs.
Yes,
100%.
Absolutely. But who are the folks in the Alabama delegation that went with this? So both senators are against. It looks like Barry Moore was against.
Yeah, everyone who is running a contested election voted against it.
Okay, Gary Palmer voted against.
Yes, so did
Jerry Carl.
So yes. Well, no, Jerry is. Wait, hold on. I think I may have misspoken there.
No, it's Moore, Palmer, Carl who voted against.
Okay, yes, they voted against.
And so Adderholt, Rogers, and Terry Sewell and Dale Strong
Correct.
all voted in favor.
Yes.
Why that breakdown? Is it just because of the election year?
I think that's a good It's a good analysis. I couldn't say definitively, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, some people just think that for various and sundry reasons, obviously the people that voted against it were very quick to put out their reasons for doing it, and those who voted for it, not so much. So who knows? That's a question that I'm trying to get. That's an answer I'm trying to get.
For instance, here's Gary Palmer on Twitter X. The CR continues to spend at the same unsustainable levels I have opposed in the past. At some point, we must confront the reality that we must reduce spending. This is what Congressman Palmer told us last week. He said, we can grow a lot of our way out of the problem of our debt, but we have to cut spending in a structural way, is his point. And that's exactly what he's telling us in our interview last week. He says, I am disappointed we are still passing CRs. I will continue to push for sensible spending cuts and sensible fiscal policy. Also, Barry Moore putting out a statement saying, thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, it took our country just 105 days to get from $33 trillion to $34 trillion in debt. So it's no surprise Americans are being forced to pay a 17% inflation tax on all goods and services. I'm kind of reading there's more to this Barry Moore statement. But damn it, damn you, federal courts. I like Barry Moore as my congressman. Go jump in a lake.
That's why.
Yep.
We did it to make it fair. Yeah, because if you elect another black person to Congress, it's going to make all the black people's lives better here in the state of Alabama. Really? When are we going to get over the fact that this representation game doesn't actually do anything for anybody? Oh, a white guy was elected. My life's all of a sudden. No, it's not. Because I'm not a racist a-hole. Who are the racist a-holes today? The people who think that game means anything. I almost said something else.
No, I told you.
I saw.
Until we can have literally an adult conversation, honest conversation about race in this country, we're doomed.
It's just
we
so
are
dumb.
absolutely doomed.
But it doesn't require an honest conversation about race, because the people on the left who push this racial system of racial virtue and racial unvirtue, they don't believe it. It is simply a ploy to get people to vote the way that they want. They don't care.
I'm not right, but I'm not trying to have the honest conversation with them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you should try to have the honest conversation where you expose their buffoonery for what it is.
Right,
and
but I do that to the individual that I'm trying to convince. I'm not going to try to sell heaven to the Satan.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
just
true.
go to the others and say, you know what, here.
Yeah.
Let's have and I've had more luck in my life having honest conversations one-on-one with someone than ever trying to attack what they're.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just also so tired of a change is going to come. Yeah, a change is really going to come when you elect the same frickin' person 20, 30 years in a row. It continually gets you all worked up and pushes those buttons, turns you on to either be really hateful and distrustful of a certain group or that group. Well, that's all politicians. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for my rant.
I
liked Barry Moore being my congressman.
Me too.
Anyway, Moore goes on. He says, I voted against this continuing resolution because it contains no meaningful spending cuts, and Americans can't afford more inflation. This resolution also fails to address the crisis at our southern border that puts American families in danger every day. If Biden refuses to secure our southern border and put America first, Congress should refuse to fund a woke, weaponized, and wasteful government. Well, again, this is why I'm going to miss him very, very much. And what a race between Jerry Carl and Barry Moore in the south of this state.
Yeah, and they got a debate coming up. That should be very interesting. I don't think anyone really knows how that's going to go. Anyone who says they do is an idiot, because nobody knows. It's a new district. How can you have historical? How can you have a historical model of a voting record in a district that just literally came into existence now?
Right.
So it's funny. You have two incumbents running for a district where neither of them are incumbents, but also they are incumbents simultaneously. It makes no sense. The federal courts really did a number on us.
And you don't have to live in that district. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, you
don't. You do or you don't?
You don't have
You
to live in the district.
not for Congress or Senate, I believe.
Now, if you're running for Alabama state stuff,
Yeah.
you have to be.
Okay.
As we've recently learned, or an individual has learned quite harshly, quite recently.
Oh.
And then just to give them their due, senators, Tuberville, staying consistent, he voted against the last CR. He says, when questioned, I don't think we'll shut down the country. This place is run by the seat of its pants. It just amazes me, says Coach Tuberville, every day how we waste the taxpayers' money here in Washington, D.C. We don't look over it and we overspend. That's the way things have run up here for a very long time. Senator Britt said, "Today I voted against Senator Schumer's continuing resolutions. It is past time for the Senate to live up to the promise that we made to the American people and work to pass responsible appropriations bills through regular order in an open and transparent manner that includes a robust amendment process. The Senate Appropriations Committee worked diligently to mark up in advance all 12 appropriations bills by the end of last July." And when I read this statement, by the way, I learned that. I did not know that, they always make excuse, we ran out of time. Senator Britt's on, I believe, the Appropriations Committee.
Oh, yeah.
And said, we did our work. We got it done in July, which is amazing.
But it's got to go to the floor, and Schumer just doesn't want to.
Like, really? For
no,
real?
There's no way.
I don't think.
I call BS.
Since then, 175 days have passed. Enough is enough. In the past 64 days, the time period since the most recent continuing resolution passed, Senator Schumer has not allowed a single appropriations bill to come to the floor. It is clear that he is not serious about conducting a regular order appropriations process on the floor. Yeah, it is clear. It's absolutely clear. Pick up line one.
Oh, goodness.
Hello, who's this? You're on the air.
Hi, this is Katie Brett.
Hello, Katie.
When I tell you it's Katie,
Senator.
it's Katie. Okay?
How you doing? I forget she lives here. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was just listening to y'all and wanted the opportunity to weigh in on this. You were just reading the statement that I put out yesterday, but I think it's critically important for people to realize what's going on here. I mean, the Appropriations Committee, we did our work. You just said it. We did our work. We passed 12 out of 12 bills. We marked them up individually. We allowed for each to be amended individually. We put it on TV. I mean, it's the first time this has happened in I don't know how many years. We got that done at the end of July. So it had been 175 days since we did that. And do you know how many bills that we have actually gotten to President Biden's desk? That number is 0. And when you look at even from the last CR, so obviously there were a lot of challenges last fall, and the last CR was passed November 14th, 15th, okay?
Right.
That is almost 65 days ago. Now, here's the kicker. In 65 days, do you know how many of the bills? So we had a laddered CR, which meant we were supposed to have 4 done by January 19th, and then we were supposed to have the remaining done by February 2nd. So between that laddered CR, November 14th, 15th, through January 19th, how many of those 4 bills did Chuck Schumer try to move? And the answer is 0. And so you cannot keep kicking the can down the road and not putting these bills on the floor, because what Chuck Schumer is trying to do is he is trying to gain all of the leverage so that he can force an omnibus down the people's throat of this country, and I'm not going to stand for it. I mean, we actually should be doing our job. We should be telling people what is happening, which is Chuck Schumer won't do his job and lead how a leader is supposed to lead and allow us to bring these bills to the floor and allow us to vote on them. And so we've just said, like you read, enough is enough. And I'm ready for us to get back to doing the business of the American people, which means regular order and actually doing our job.
Again, folks, this is the voice of U.S. Senator Katie Brett. And just as a quick follow-up question, simple one, were you surprised by Schumer's, tactics here, running out the clock?
Well, surprised, maybe not, but obviously still really disappointed.
Right.
Here he pulled us back. Think about this. We were supposed to be in a recess week the week before Christmas. And look, I am happy and ready to work each and every day that we have the opportunity. And for instance, we should have been working over this past weekend. You do realize he sent us home last Thursday instead of keeping us Friday and Saturday and Sunday trying to reach a deal on these things. Well, just like that, the week before Christmas, he calls us back in session. So I fly back up there. And do you think he put one of these bills on the floor? Obviously, the answer is no. I think he had us voting on a nomination for a commissioner of Social Security or something of that nature, instead of actually doing these bills, amending them, making them better. This is how we get back to fiscal responsibility. And then another thing, if you look at him saying he's going to put the supplemental on the floor prior to putting these appropriations bills on the floor, it's asinine. And when you think about the fact that we have not actually passed these appropriations bills, but yet we're going to work to try to supplement something we haven't passed yet. Again, this is business as usual in Washington, D.C., and and the American people are over it, and I certainly am.
Well, I appreciate you calling in here impromptu, and appreciate the vote on this, the stance you're taking on this. Hey, when you got time and you're in town, stop by the studio sometime. We'll do an interview about your first year or something like that.
Absolutely. I'd appreciate it, and y'all keep we are $34 trillion in debt. Oof. I mean, we need to do our job. And then also remember, though, anytime we pass a CR, then that means that the Biden administration and those officials that are unelected within the administration and kind of the fourth branch of government, all of these unelected bureaucrats have the opportunity to dictate how this money is spent in a way where we don't have an opportunity to have Alabama values and our conservative thoughts implanted into those. So thank you for covering this, and I look forward to coming back sometime soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Senator.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks.
Senator.
We got to enter top of the hour break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by, now I'm embarrassed. I didn't believe it at first. Brought to you by New Look Decorating Center.
I've got to go by there, Joey. I've got a sample in my car. I've got to do some painting this weekend. Literally ran out of time because I want to get here today. But I've got a sample. I'll be going to get that stain sample. So I'll be putting them through their test because I'm not going to restain the whole house. I need 2 feet of something painted, 2 feet of stain, so it's got to match. So if it doesn't come out, I'll let you know. But I got trust in them. They have helped me how many times now? And every time I've even doubted that. One time, Jonathan, I doubted him. He's like, "This is going to match up." I was like, I don't know. When it dried, it matched up. You can't tell the difference.
Do you finally know that you don't know?
No, at 54 years old, I still feel like I know.
Oh, man, I pretend like I know. But New Look Decorating has saved this guy so much time and money, folks.
They're great folks over there,
They really are easy to work with, whether you're talking about Brett Lanham, the manager, Jordan, or Katie, who's the paint specialist she is a paint specialist, but she's also the wallpaper and fabric specialist there, and she's immune to your jokes about
Apparently,
me.
I got a good one going, though.
Which I appreciate. So y'all can always go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com or call them at 271-0007. But I encourage you, go see these folks in person. Yeah. They're at 6237 Atlanta Highway. High quality Benjamin Moore paint and stain supplies. It's right there where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway.
Yep, right
See it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. 2 weeks of storms have turned roads into icy death traps, frozen people to death from Oregon to Tennessee, and caused power outages in the U.S. that could take weeks to fix. Fresh snow fell on New York City and Washington, D.C., where the March for Life is underway, and wind chills were expected to dip to 30 degrees below zero in the upper Midwest. Japan Space Agency reporting that its spacecraft is on the moon, but is still checking its status. No astronauts were aboard that Japanese lunar lander. Hall of Fame golfer and two-time major champion Jack Bird Jr. has died at age 100. He had been the oldest surviving Masters champion. The Dow had 313 points. The NASDAQ is up 176. This is SRN News.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000, with an option for higher amounts. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and suffered cancers of the bladder, liver, or kidneys, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's, or kidney issues, you may qualify for compensation and could be paid within 60 days after accepting your settlement, with your VA benefits fully protected. You may be entitled to a significant financial award for your Camp Lejeune claim, but you must act now. Call the James Harris Law Camp Lejeune helpline now to get the compensation you deserve. We're already fighting for thousands harmed by the water at Camp Lejeune. Call now or you may forever lose your right to be awarded a settlement between $100,000 and $550,000. For your free evaluation, call 800-320-7171. That's 800-320-7171. 800-320-7171.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. Like it or not, a brand new fresh supply of Arctic air has engulfed the state. Today, windy, colder, high temperature, only in the mid to upper 40s, but that gusty northwesterly wind Occasionally gusting to 20 miles per hour will make it seem a lot colder. Tonight, another hard freeze, clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 19. Saturday, the sun is out, but the high temperature only makes it into the 30s, perhaps 37. We are back to the teens on Saturday night, maybe 17 for the overnight low. Sunday, still chilly, high only in the mid-40s. Much warmer next week, 57 Monday, 63 on Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The Prattville Fire Department rescued a person trapped in a house fire Thursday afternoon. Units responded to reports of fire and heavy smoke on Greencrest Lane around 5:30 p.m. Thursday. The unidentified victim was found in a bedroom, rescued through the window, and transported to a nearby hospital. A Montgomery woman has been sentenced to 45 years in prison for bank fraud and money laundering. Jaja Bouvier Couch was indicted in April 2021 and later convicted of submitting 6 fraudulent loan applications under the Coronavirus Aid Relief Act, totaling over $1.6 million. The W.A. Gale Planetarium in Montgomery will reopen to the public next week. The grand reopening event will take place on Saturday, January 27th, and there will be shows every Saturday through April 27th. The summer schedule will be announced at a later date. The planetarium has been closed since June 2022. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Who's there? It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof. Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder. No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill? Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down. Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe? Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but... Bill! Like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare. I see. You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
Hey, it's Lyle from Marguerite's. We all want to wish you a wonderful, happy new year, 2024. We're building all new, beautiful jewelry for you. Of course, we remake things. If you have anything sitting around, bring it in. Let's see what we can do with it. Marguerite's is full service. We have the best jewelers around. We have the best gift wrappers around. We have the best merchandise around. We have the best pricing around. We have the best quality around. But I'm not bragging. We're darn good, though. Come in and see us at Marguerite's. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to a great 2024.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. You know, this phrase was started long before I started the show, but Eddie, who listens?
Everybody listens.
Everybody listens to News and Views, even though it's a different time now with completely different people.
Occasionally we forget, but then we're reminded. Everybody listens.
272-9228. Let's go to East of the Rockies. Hey, East.
Hey, you stepped on my lines. I wanted to say that Jack Campbell, once again, was right. When he would respond, someone would ask, who listens? And he would say, everybody.
Everybody.
And I tell you, listening to our senator speak to us, that goes a long way with me, man. When these guys are accessible, it makes it easier for me to vote for them.
Yeah,
exactly right.
I agree.
And I like the folks in the Alabama delegation standing up to this because these schemes, it's Washington up to their old usual dirty tricks, and it's got to stop.
Yeah. If they do it right, then they need to be lauded. So you're doing a great job. You guys have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you again,
thank you, East.
Appreciate it, East.
Thank you.
272-9228. If you want to hop in on the program again, that's 272-9228. So I want to do a little bit of a palate cleanser just away from politics. I want to ask you two gentlemen here with me what you would do if you were in this situation. Now, you have to first imagine that you own a very small, like, petite dog.
Okay.
Like a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Or like a toy poodle. And actually, they ain't bad. Like, well, some Chihuahuas I've met. Like,
it's aggressive.
Yeah, I
Like
did
a
not
Yorkie.
like.
I think a Yorkie's a better example.
Yorkie, toy
Yeah.
poodles are cool too. Like my uncle had one and a Great Dane, and that toy poodle was in
was a
charge
boss,
of the Great Dane. Would chase him all this stuff. It was hilarious. But imagine you have a tiny, tiny dog like that, and you're just taking them out. Like you got to go out, little buddy.
Little business.
And so you let them out, and you don't have you're not that bougie. You got you don't have a privacy fence.
Okay.
You've got the chain link fence, and it's actually not even that linked together well. So there are gaps in that fence there. But your little dog's good, and so you don't usually have any issues.
Right.
Well, get a load of this video. I'll just play this clip. It'll be on the live stream, folks. If you actually want to watch what's going down, we will describe what's happening here. But this is a report from Inside Edition. I don't often use them as a source.
I was gonna say, Joey.
But it's an interesting situation here. So let's listen in.
It's man versus coyote. And this guy isn't about to lose his tussle with the wild animal. Timothy Snipe was out in his yard in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, with his pint-sized Chihuahua named Roxy. Suddenly, Roxy noticed the coyote and ran right for it. What did you think when you first saw the coyote?
I thought he was going to grab her and take her back in the woods.
Despite wearing a bathrobe and slippers, he knew that unless he fought off the animal, Roxy was a goner.
No, and so, folks, if you're not watching on the live stream with us, Joey Clark Live on YouTube, it's kind of the guy's walking out just to let the dog out. He's in a red bathrobe, slippers.
It ain't a long robe either.
No. And he has to run across the yard in that state of dress. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but that coyote, when he gets up there, lunges at it, jumps, and
looks like
lunges for his face.
Rabbit, the way he's acting.
Yeah, and it went for a particular area that coyotes are known for going for.
All right, so let's keep going here.
The animal fights back, biting Snipes multiple times. So he grabs the coyote by the tail. All this time, Roxy is yapping away.
He actually jumped on me, and I fought him. He actually bit me on my legs.
Watch what happens next. Snipes carries him over to a garbage bin and drops him inside like trash. But look,
he wasn't dead.
You can see the lid of the bin moving as the coyote tries to escape. Animal control showed up to take the coyote away. Snipe is taking no chances. From now on, Roxy will be wearing this spiky harness.
I like that.
The dog looks like a member of Kiss.
You're right. Those are some serious spikes.
Some spikes on a very cute pink vest.
So I thought he choked the coyote out or something. He just toted him over there and threw him in the dumpster.
That's what he said.
That will make any coyote think twice before trying to chomp down on this feisty little gal.
Wow. So yeah, he does. He gets them by the tail and then puts them right in the dumpster. Like that's amazing to behold right there. Like we turn the sound off here so we can just watch it. Yeah, right by the tail and just like slam dunks them right in the dumpster. So if y'all are in that situation, what do you do? If you have to fight a coyote off and you don't have a dumpster available, what do you do?
Well, funnily enough, 2 weeks ago, I actually domed a coyote on my land because I have outdoor cats that I love.
Oh, sure.
And there wasn't any sort of immediate risk to them, but I had seen the coyote, and my wife had on our driveway, and you've been on our driveway, you know. How long it is.
Oh, yeah.
And so I saw him out a little bit farther, about 150 yards out, and so I run out, and he runs behind, and I know my land pretty well, so I traced him back, saw him in this back area of the woods, and sent him home.
Okay, nicely
so
done.
That's
how Craig Munger deals with coyotes. Eddie, how do you deal with it if you're...
Well, for one, I always got a knife on me, so
even when you're in your wife's kimono, and
always.
Wow,
dude, I'm from Elmore County.
Yeah, sometimes, folks, if you live up on Lake Jordan or you're just visiting, if you go by the slip where Eddie's place is, you'll see him in a little pink kimono.
Not just me, Susanna one day got caught out there as well. So, but no, something like that, man. That's to be able to just pick him up by the tail. I think I would have slammed him a few times. The coyote wouldn't have been alive. Plus, my Roxy is about 89 pounds.
Oh, your dog would have been fine.
Yeah, I'd have been watching. Yeah. In fact, I think last night she went after a possum, and I remember Susanna screaming.
Maybe this is. I feel like, especially a coyote that size, maybe this is just my arrogance, but I really feel like I could just
choke him out. That's my thought.
Strangle that thing.
If I got him by the tail, I'm slinging him, man.
I mean, it's a big enough animal though to where it wouldn't feel good taking it out. I'd be confident enough I could take that animal out, but you're gonna get some bites.
Yeah,
you probably need to go to the doctor afterwards.
Oh well, you got to have the rabies treatment. Yeah, there ain't no doubt.
Right? Is there a particular animal you just never want to fight?
There's a lot, but a grizzly bear is
grizzly bear,
number one.
gorilla,
Right.
a chimpanzee.
Chimps are my number one. I have a legitimate fear of chimps. I will never hold one, never get close to one.
I think it was a clip of Rogan talking to Jim Brewer, and Brewer's like, I could fight a monkey.
No, you can't.
And Rogan, they pulled up a clip where it's in India, I believe, and it wasn't a big monkey. It wasn't as small as like a spider monkey, but it was a 40-pound monkey, let's say.
Yeah.
This thing's just hanging out with the guy, and all of a sudden it jumps up and it bites like probably 6 inches, 6 by 2 inch part of his scalp down to the skull, just like that. And you're like, you still think you can fight this monkey, Jim?
Well, when I visited some of the more mountainous regions in China, they have wild monkeys there, and they're about the size of baboons, but they're not baboons, not nearly. I don't know what brand of monkey they are, but they would steal your stuff all the time, and they jump on top of you.
I've seen videos of that,
and you can just feel them. Like they'll jump on you and play around, but when you feel them, you're like, oh God, this thing is maybe 30 pounds, and I can't manipulate him. They have a freakish level of strength, and chimps are just like gorillas are the strongest, but they're typically docile. They don't kill as many people.
They'll intimidate you, but they're not going to.
Chimps will wreck your world in a way that you cannot even imagine. They go for the face and the genitals first.
Yeah. They literally rip off your face.
Yeah, there was that woman who had a pet chimp.
That's all I remember.
And she would feed it Vicodin. Yeah, she would give it Vicodin and red wine.
Yeah.
I thought there was possibly something a little bit more creepy going on with that situation. But she had a friend come over, and he peeled her friend's face off.
Well, you remember Michael Jackson's Bobo? The monkey.
Yeah.
All right. I heard a story last night about him. You know, that was a really cute monkey.
Just reminded me of the Cat Williams show.
Until it got about 5 years old. Then that monkey loved Michael, but nobody else. And it bit a few people, and Michael's like, oh, we got enough of the monkey. So they sent the monkey off to a sanctuary. I think the sanctuary was in California. That monkey felt so rejected, it was depressed for like 5 or 6 years. Wouldn't do anything. So they finally sent it to another sanctuary in Florida, where because it had been around people its whole life. It would not socialize with other chimps. So they sent him down to one in Florida. He had one friend, and from then on, he would only hang with that one other chimpanzee or monkey, whatever he was. But when he saw people, he would throw poo at them. He hated people from that minute on. He was so dejected because, he'd been rejected by his best friend, the only person he ever knew. Depression set in so strong that for like 5 years, he didn't do anything. And then when they finally got somebody or another companion for him, he loved that companion, but he hated people.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
it's really
they're
weird,
very
man.
odd creatures, though. But seriously, like chimpanzees, you won't find me near them. If Ronald Reagan had a pet chimp, I think.
Oh,
really?
He did. Well, I don't know.
Did the show with him.
Chimp, but yeah, he did. It was a movie. Was it a movie or a show?
I think it was
It's
a movie
something
back
for
then, yeah.
Bobo, or I
Yeah.
can't remember, but
Bedtime for Bonzo.
Bedtime for Bonzo, not Bobo. Bonzo, thank you. But yeah, it was a chimp. Look at that.
Yeah, bedtime for Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you would not catch me.
Well, back in the day, though, I mean, you would have things like I've seen. Was it FDR that had a moose that he would ride around? I mean, you had all kinds of odd. People didn't say respect, but they didn't treat animals the same way we treat them today.
Yeah, I mean, what like Siegfried and Roy, that whole debacle. I can tell you, I've been to several. Growing up overseas, I've ridden an Indian elephant.
Yeah.
I've ridden multiple times. I've held a red panda. My parents dispute this, but my brother and I remember this distinctly. We've ridden a tiger. Because there was a circus. We have both. My brother and I have ridden a tiger. My parents deny this. I think maybe because they don't want to seem like negligent, horrible
parents do that too, yeah.
But my brother and I have a distinct remembrance of riding a tiger. And so we experience a lot of exotic animals.
I was going to ask you about pandas, though. I've heard they can be.
They're aggressive. They can be very aggressive.
They're more. It depends. So when we went to the panda reserve in the city that we lived in, had the largest panda reserve in the world. So we went there frequently, but you have to pay in order to hold them. Holding the black and white pandas was relatively expensive, and holding the red pandas was not so much. So
Oh, really?
I've only ever held a red panda, and red pandas are adorable.
Yeah, they are.
But it's crazy, like they, over there, how they'll treat their animals. In Turkey, we had the dancing bears, where you had gypsies that would come around, and it was as big as a grizzly bear, but it was a different type of bear.
Moon
had
bear?
a ring through the nose, and they literally, you would throw them money down from your balcony in less than a penny or whatever. They'd shake their tambourine, the bear would do a little dancing, but you would see them on the bus. You'd be riding the bus. There's a gypsy and there's this dancing bear next to him.
Yeah. Again, people are insane. People are insane. To do that is so insane, because there's videos that you can find of people that have like pet grizzly bears.
Yes.
And say, oh, he's friendly, and this person will come up and try to dance with them and then he just goes swipe by jugular by human, because you think that you're dealing with like Yogi bears. Like, no, these are savage animals that can kill you so easily.
It's very important
in
to
ways
keep
that are
them
very painful.
Fat, dumb, and happy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever messed with like a large animal that could kill me. I'm trying to think of the weirdest animal I've dealt with, like actually not just looked at a zoo. Probably some dude in college had a sugar glider or whatever those
those
are.
are pretty
Those
cool.
little squirrely type
Yeah,
things.
and it would literally like if you put your hand out and it was in the corner, it would fly across the room and just sit in your hand. I'm like, okay, I see why you have it as a pet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've just handled monkeys, like I said, an elephant, which elephants are so bizarre to touch.
And I know
So
can only
bizarre.
I know they're cute, by the way, but rabbits really not a great pet.
No, they're pretty tasty.
Make
though.
a huge mess.
Yeah, they are adorable, but I prefer them to be wild and outside.
Yeah.
I have hunted rabbits before. They are quite delicious. They're not very nutritious, but they're delicious.
Is cat delicious?
What now?
Cat?
I don't know for certainty that I've eaten cat. I have eaten bobcat though, so that I guess I have eaten a cat. But not like a house cat or anything. But
Well, that's good to know.
yeah.
Yeah, this guy killed a coyote on behalf of his cat. So
Yeah.
I think that's a mark of a man right there. He'll stand up for his cat like that.
Well, I planned to go back and get it, but I was busy, and then when I went back to go retrieve the carcass, it had been taken care of probably by one of his friends. They do cannibalize.
Wow.
I think that's the only thing that'll eat a coyote. Is another coyote.
Another coyote? Yeah, I mean, I've never had coyote, but I told myself the next time I killed one, I would eat it, and that was my plan here. But like I said, it was gone.
I feel like you got lucky.
He did, or I did?
You did.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you, you can make anything into sloppy joes. There's not a meat on earth I wouldn't eat.
Now, I got to ask you this question, Craig, and I know it'll make all the folks who are officially running like the wildlife and fisheries, like the wildlife department here.
Yeah.
But do you think we have long-tailed big cats here in the state of Alabama?
Here we go.
I've seen too many game cams from people that would suggest otherwise. Like most people are ignorant. Most people don't know that we have black bears in Alabama.
Huh?
There was one in Elmore.
There's one in Walsboro. The guy killed it.
Yeah, which by the way,
Yeah.
if you kill a black bear out of season, shut up. Don't say anything about it.
Don't put it on the Facebook.
Don't put it on Facebook.
'Cause that's just sad.
Just brine it and then cook it slow. How about that? Because I mean, I'm the same way. It's like black bears are typically very docile. Typically being the operative word. I'm not taking any risk. I have kids that play outside and that kind of stuff. If you're big and you kill things, you die quick.
Yes.
The garbage bears, they don't taste too good.
Nah, I mean, I've heard grizzly bear tastes nice if they eat mostly fish.
Right.
But black bears that
in the
eat-
city, they garbage bears.
Yeah, the black bear I've heard is very delicious, especially if they eat a mostly fruit and
I've had the
omnivorous diet.
black bear. It was really greasy. Wasn't my favorite.
You know what? I
Really?
hear-
You don't like grease?
Not that much.
Okay.
I heard, now I never had it, but I heard it was as greasy as possum, but I've never had possum. So
I have had possum.
Pretty
and
greasy?
it's not bad. Again, what makes grease is fat. If
Yeah.
you take the fat off, guess what? You don't have grease. And bears are notoriously fatty animals, and bear fat actually. Daniel Boone, he would kill bears specifically for their fat because it's such a nutritious thing
There's a
to
song
have.
about Daniel Boone and a bear.
Yeah, he killed a bar when he was only 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you kill something, anytime I hear someone complain that they ate a food and it was greasy, it means it either contained or was cooked with too much oil or with fat. So if you take the fat off the animal, it's not going to be greasy.
No, it's
like, have you ever had a greasy rabbit? I don't think so.
No. And this was a guided trip we were on, and I kind of feel like the guys knew what they were doing, but it just wasn't my kind of.
Yeah.
Wasn't my kind of.
My thing is, typically, with the exception of armadillos that I think we should just kill because they are so ugly and they deserve it, I will typically eat everything that I kill.
Have you tried armadillo?
What now?
Have you?
I've never even attempted to. If I see an armadillo, it dies quick because, like I said, they tear up my yard.
Yes, they do.
They are so ugly, and I think that they are so ugly that they deserve to die. That's my principle with armadillos. Now raccoons, I'll leave them alone. Possums, I have had to kill a possum because they were messing with my cats and my cat's
Wouldn't
food.
come back, yeah.
But I'll leave possums alone. They're great for ticks, and they also scare away rattlesnakes and copperheads. So that keeps them. Rabbits, again, I have hunted rabbit, but I have so many rabbits on my land I see all the time. I leave them alone. If I'm not going to eat you, I will typically leave you alone if you're not a threat. So most people, same with snakes, like, just leave them be. Snakes are really good for keeping down. Rattlesnakes eat so many ticks. They've recently found out how many ticks a rattlesnake will eat, and it's in the like 50 to 60,000.
Yeah, but what about
range.
like water moccasins? Those things are just freaking ornery and aggressive.
No, actually, I kind of don't think that that's true. I think a lot of times they're curious, and people see them coming. Like, so if you're in the water, for instance, and it's coming towards you, most people assume that that's aggression. Meanwhile, they're kind of just like, "Ooh, what's this thing floating in the water?"
Yeah, I never had a really good experience with a water moccasin. I never thought it was curious. I just shot the crap out of it right then. We went our separate ways.
You just see, this is like you could have had some understanding. Instead, you just went to your straight old
Never heard
Western
of someone
privilege,
going-
white patriarchal ways.
No,
You
it's
just
common
kill it.
sense. I never heard somebody going, "Man, that moccasin came over and he was curious. He got in the boat. We hung out."
Well, I'll tell you,
No.
the last time.
Yeah.
The last time I killed a water moccasin was probably well over a decade ago. We used to go on hunting trips and we wouldn't bring food and we
Yeah.
would just eat what we killed.
Ooh,
and we
man,
had a very
that's fun.
unsuccessful fishing trip. And we were walking back to the campsite and sure enough, there was a moccasin there and we were hungry. and
Yeah.
Moccasin got killed. Moccasin got eaten. It was
How
actually
was it?
quite
How was
tasty.
that? Yeah.
It was very fish-like. It was like
Really?
a slightly firm fish. It was delicious.
So I've tried like rattlesnake rodeo they had down here.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
done that, and it wasn't bad, but there just was not a lot of meat. There was just a lot of.
No, you
bone.
kind of have to get it off the
Yeah.
bone a little bit. And actually, in China, they do this with the snakes that they cook. They completely get the flesh off the skeleton and then they'll deep fry the skeleton, and it goes down like some potato chips.
I think I've seen them. Yeah, where they just fry it to the point of brittle.
Yeah, that's quite nice. It needs to be seasoned. It tastes like nothing otherwise, but it's quite good.
Interesting.
Why do you always talk about food when I come on?
No, we're two fat
because
guys.
I mean, have you seen me?
Two fat guys.
I don't have much.
This time of day
I've
kinda get
gotten
hungry.
rid of all my other vices. I still eat though.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you still eat,
Man,
Joey.
do you know what I did for my birthday? So my wife gave me the most perfect birthday. First of all, we took the kids early morning on my birthday, which was on the 13th. She took the kids to her parents' house, and then we napped till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Which
Adult
that's
naps.
never
Yeah.
happened in probably 7 years, the past 7 years. And then we watched a movie. And then in the evening, I got to go pick up my favorite burgers, which are the Bacon Kings from Burger King. And she made me a cookie cake and made homemade onion rings with her sourdough batter. Best birthday I've had in recent memory. It was terrific.
Now, we're getting comments on the live stream. Again, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I guess that ends the outdoor animal portion of the show. But Glorious Spam says, I'd pay money to watch Joey fight a house cat.
So would I.
Oh, I would do. Yeah. I can set that up.
Because
I've got
I don't
two
want
cats.
to. I'm not. What did I say that I could take a house cat or something?
Well, we're trying
or-
to find that animal. Where's your?
I would not want to fight
So
a
house cat is not
No,
it. Okay.
man. Like I've been hit by a cat before. It ain't fun. Like if you had to survive, sure, but no. When those things get angry, they ain't fun.
It can be, yeah.
I always grew up hating cats. I said I would never be a cat person. Then we got our land and we wanted something for outside,
That's what
and we
they're
have
good for, man.
two. And I tell you, I love cats.
Yeah, me
cats
too.
are the greatest.
And honestly, since we're on the lake, we occasionally see snakes, but it's not like my neighbors. They see them often. I've got two cats. I hardly ever see any snakes.
And then Gumtown John is saying, it's been attempted several times throughout history, but those darn trash pandas were all, nope, not happening. I guess people trying to get them as pets.
I see that on the TikTok sometimes, but I don't know how that works out in the end.
I think it's a novelty that people try and then they immediately regret, but then they have to stick with it because what the heck else are they
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're cute and all. I'd like for you guys to
They're
have it, and I
cute.
can play with it for a while and then give it back to you.
Yeah, I had a pet boa growing up as
Oh, yeah?
a boa constrictor, which feeding that thing is
Yeah,
the
my sister had
coolest.
one.
It's
Yeah,
so
we
cool.
had at the animal house I lived in.
Yeah.
With a bunch of dudes. There was a pet snake named Miley Cyrus.
Only one?
Really?
Mm-hmm. And we would name the mice that we fed it.
Well, when I
That's
installed
not sadistic.
One was named Taylor Swift one time.
I'm telling you, when you're a teenage boy and you have a boa and you get the boys over, feeding that thing is an event.
I'll admit
that and molting when it was
snakes-
skinned.
Oh, yeah.
Like that snake I was just talking about. I held it and whatever. But there's something in like the base of my brain that I did not like it.
No.
There's something fundamental where I'm like, I do not like this animal. Get it away from me.
Well, a snake is the first enemy of mankind, if you believe as I do in the Book of Genesis. So I think
Yeah.
it's an instinctual thing where we understand, hey, danger, danger, danger. And
yeah, it felt that. It wasn't conscious. It was like a fundamental instinct. Where
Your
I'm
little
like,
lizard
I
brain
shouldn't be
going off.
doing
Yeah.
this right now. Holding this thing.
Yeah, I ran into a house when I was installing cable, and these guys had like 12 or 13 terrariums with ball pythons, and they had those heaters in there, and I had to work in that room. So not only was I just very
The
aware of
snakes
the
wanted
fact that I
cable?
was surrounded, but I was also burning up because this room was just so hot. It was so hot.
Well, we got to hit a break. Thank you too for being here today. This is a lot better than me ranting and raving for 3
You want to go
hours.
adopt a pet now?
I might.
I wouldn't suggest a snake.
No, I'm not getting a snake.
An adult single man with a snake.
Dog
just
or
screams creepy.
Dog or a cat, probably.
Doggy.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know dogs.
But cats
Dogs
are so independent.
It
I love
depends
cats.
on the cat.
Yeah,
And-
cats are so low maintenance.
Yeah,
so
right.
low maintenance.
And I think they're kind of cool. Well, maybe I'll get two. I'll get a dog and a cat.
Whoa.
No, I have thought about it where I'm going to get a cat named Niccolo Machiavelli.
But of course.
And then Chihuahua, like the one we started the segment with, name him Lil Pimp. And then I'm going to get like a black chocolate lab or something.
Yeah.
Name it Steve.
Well, you know who will be the boss? Will be the cat.
Oh,
Yeah, get the cat first.
Yeah.
Get the cat first and then the dog, because then the cat's confident, it knows its space, and then he's independent and the dog is just learning everything. But the cat will be the master of the domain.
Yep.
That's how it's
Very
working.
important.
Well, 272-9228 if you want to jump in on whatever this is. But for this break, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. They're the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region for a few reasons. One, their inspections, always free.
Free, baby.
And you should get an inspection on a regular basis, whether you have a metal or asphalt roof. And because it's free, why not, make it a yearly thing with River Region Contracting? And the great news, if they do find an issue, their estimates are always free. And in your experience, Eddie, accurate.
Very accurate. Every single time. Not just with me, but with clients that I've recommended them to.
So they're not trying to like lowball you so they can
Nope.
come back later.
And that's what you got to watch out
Right,
for,
right,
but not
right.
with these guys.
And they're also insurance specialists. So if they do find a problem your insurance might cover, they can walk you through that claims process. So it's a swift and easy experience. So again, call up River Region Contracting today. That's 356-8635, 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and that great team there at River Region Contracting that News and Views, those fellas on the radio, sent you more news and views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your market report. How is the real estate market and what does 2024 hold for us? Last year, over 4,700 homes sold and closed through realtors, and the average sales price was $245,000. People who have owned real estate over the last 2 to 3 years have profited by keeping their homes and now have more equity in their home than ever. The people who listed their homes with realtors were able to find ready and willing buyers that paid at or above their asking price. Mortgage companies and local builders have found ways to overcome higher rates with attractive programs that allow for low-cost refinancing when the rate drops. Some of the local mortgage companies have new programs that help buyers with low down payment programs, such as one program with 1% down or even less. If you haven't bought a house yet, now's the time. For all the information, call Bo Goodson at 221-2883 or the Goodson Group at 551-0225.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by JB Windows and Siding. Call Jones Brothers. You'll be glad you did.
JB Windows and Siding. What you're looking for. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Like it or not, a brand new fresh supply of Arctic air has engulfed the state. Today, windy, colder, high temperature, only in the mid to upper 40s, but that gusty northwesterly wind, occasionally gusting to 20 miles per hour, will make it seem a lot colder. Tonight, another hard freeze, clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 19. Saturday, the sun is out, but the high temperature only makes it into the 30s, perhaps 37. We are back to the teens on Saturday night, maybe 17 for the overnight low. Sunday, still chilly, high only in the mid-40s. Much warmer next week, 57 Monday, 63 on Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. He's Eddie. How you doing, Eddie?
Doing well. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm all right. Craig Monger in the house. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing swell. Thank you for asking.
Thank you both for being here. And let's do a little presidential politics because I've been mostly talking about this self alone this week.
Okay.
So what do we make of this shift now into it's Nikki Haley and somehow Ron DeSantis is still in there and Donald Trump and Nikki's going to take out Trump in New Hampshire?
Not going to happen.
No.
No.
But my first thing is, I thought Haley lost that last deal in Iowa. How is she still presented as ahead of DeSantis?
She got some delegates.
Something?
She picked
got,
up her
and her
delegates.
numbers in New Hampshire are better than DeSantis.
Okay.
And DeSantis, let's focus in on that. Ron DeSantis, like, what a mistake.
Something seems odd there because he was all about it not too long ago, and now he seems to be accepting the fadeaway.
Because I never dislike DeSantis.
No, not at all.
Because and I still would vote for him in the general, but there's just something where it's like I'm not getting the real guy.
Yeah.
I'm not getting somebody who's warm. It seemed like he got bad advice, or maybe that is just his personality.
That's 100% what happened. I mean, when you're a governor, you have people that tell you what to do and what to say to a certain extent, but they tend to be someone who knows you and knows the state. When you decide to run a presidential election, you'll typically hire someone who's more experienced in that realm, and then you'll maybe hire a firm that helps you know what you're supposed to do. And I think they're just giving him bad cues, and it's so unnatural for him. He looks like a cyborg when he gets up there.
He looks uncomfortable.
He looks incredibly uncomfortable because he's doing something that's not natural.
Yeah.
When you look at his rhetoric, and I mean rhetoric in a very positive way, I think rhetoric is important. But when you look at his rhetoric as the governor during the COVID era and his rhetoric now when he's running for president, the delivery, all of it is different.
Yep.
And what people don't realize is that is why Trump is successful, because if he has that person that tells him what to say and what to do, he doesn't listen to them. So I don't know if that person exists, but they're essentially keeping
It's gotta be a miserable job.
They're keeping a seat warm. Essentially, they're doing nothing to actually affect his messaging. So people understand authenticity and they enjoy it, and they like the authenticity that Trump brings, and they like the authenticity that DeSantis brought whenever he was telling the feds to kick rocks, whenever he was telling California that they suck. They liked that, and now he's doing something different. He's still saying the same things, but in a different way that doesn't come from the corazon.
Now, here's a write-up from, I don't usually cite them, but if you want to get the regime's point of view, Yahoo News.
No.
Yeah. But New Hampshire voter Jan Dodge says she will vote for Nikki Haley in the state's Republican primary, but supporting the former South Carolina governor is not the main motivation behind her choice. I'm actually a real supporter of Nikki Haley, but I don't want Donald Trump to win New Hampshire, so I'm voting for Nikki Haley, and that's my story, the 71-year-old retiree says, before bursting into laughter. Oh, no. Y'all know that tick, where you don't say something funny.
Yeah.
You just say a thing like, I'm supporting Nikki Haley.
Like Kamala Harris?
Yeah. Yeah.
We sound like a dying dolphin.
Yeah, she's seated, the 71-year-old, along with her friend Lisa Kester, a 59-year-old attorney, inside Robbie's Country Store in the cold New England state. It's a strategic vote, Kester tells Yahoo News. It's a vote against Donald Trump. Voters plotting ways to block the former U.S. president from November's ballot are lining up behind Haley as their best weapon against a second Trump term and planning to cast their primary ballot for her on Tuesday. And I believe in New Hampshire, it's open primary, like we have here in Alabama.
Yeah.
So if you're an independent or you're a Democrat, and it's not like the Democratic primary is competitive by design of the Democrats, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was trying to do that. And who's the other guy? Dean Phillips? He's still trying to run.
Is he?
Yeah, I think, but not successfully because they really have rigged everything in Biden's favor. So the Democrats have nothing better to do other than let's back somebody to take out Trump. So we don't think this is going to work.
No. Not at all. I don't.
No, I don't think it is either.
I think maybe what happens, she gets a close number and then just gets destroyed in her home state about a month after.
No, she's just so unlikable personally,
It's plastic, man.
and her
She's just
policies just blow. People don't want a moderate. In case you haven't realized, we're probably in the most polarized realm of politics that the country's ever been in. I mean, obviously, it's close around to the Civil War is it's a close second, but people don't want a moderate to come in and just be like, well, they've got some points over here,
Right.
and they've got some points over here. They want someone coming in and be like, no, I'm right. Dictator first day.
Dictator for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, and that drives his opponents nuts.
Because they're not funny. Because they're not. This is why the left loses, despite having control over most institutions. Is they're not funny. For the entirety of human history, people have dealt with atrocious things going on in their world and life with humor. It has been the way that the human race has not collectively jumped off a cliff.
Right.
Is they're able to treat things that are serious at times with a level of flippancy and disregard and humor.
Laugh instead of cry.
And the left isn't funny. They cannot take a joke. They cannot make a joke. They have there's nothing funny about them. Just the same way that there's nothing beautiful or virtuous about them. And yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
No, that's cool. It's just that Trump will say that, and he's done this ever since he jumped on the political scene. Like that one clip in 2016 where the email dump on Hillary Clinton comes out. I guess the WikiLeaks dump. And it's claimed that the Russians hacked it.
Yeah.
And then it's also in the news that she deleted 33,000 emails, something like that.
And then smashed a few computers.
Smashed them,
right, literally with hammers.
Yeah, literally with hammers smashing.
After Googling how to do it.
Right. And then I think that's what sets up Trump coming out at one press conference and going, Russia, if you're listening, if you could find
I remember that.
those 33,000 missing emails, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And they're like, see, he's working with Putin. I'm like, no,
Right.
he's making a joke.
But so many people took that seriously. And I think so many people took it seriously that knew it was a joke, but that was something they could get behind.
It was the same thing.
No Trump.
The same thing when What's-Her-Face was trying to call him before he won the first time. When they were trying to talk about it, you called women dogs and pigs and
Megyn
everything.
Kelly, yeah.
Megyn Kelly. And his response, only Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell's the only
He's
one.
funny.
Yeah.
That's by the way, that's what made Reagan. I'm not comparing Trump and Reagan.
Right.
People that make the comparison are stupid. But but what they both have in common is both were very, very funny. And people like funny. Because they realize if you have a modicum of intelligence, you look around and be like, man, this place really sucks. Like it's from cradle to grave is just one slow, tawdry step towards oblivion. And it's nice to be able to laugh about things in a while, including stereotypes, including things that are horrific. Right. And yeah, we like someone who's able to laugh and to joke and to use humor as a tool to win over the population. That's why the left will never really have that much influence in the hearts and minds.
But you have to punch up. You can't punch down at people. That's why the latest Chappelle special, he's like, I'm only punching down tonight. He thought I was going to make fun of trans folks. I'm making fun of handicapped folks tonight.
Well, when Trump made fun of Homeboy who had the thalidomide hand or whatever, everyone was Meryl Streep was like, I'm just so appalled. I'm like, I thought that was funny.
And there's plenty of also clips of Trump doing that, talking about Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Doing that, talking about Trump. That's Trump's like, I'm a spaz. I can't handle it. Like, it's that Trump does that motion.
Yeah.
All the time, and everybody's like, "Look, he's making fun of a disabled guy."
But by the way, even if he was, who cares? You're a reporter. Take it from a reporter who has a lot of things that can be made fun of about him. If you interject yourself into that realm, you are free game. So if someone wants to make fun of me, if it's funny, I'll appreciate it.
And this just came to me because I'm getting prepared to host that Alabama Libertarian Party presidential debate on February the 3rd. Chehaw State Park, I believe.
That's right. Beautiful.
And looking forward to doing that. And so I'm getting questions together, and honestly, it's pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say before I start asking any questions, and by the way, candidates, feel free to attack the premise or framing of my questions. I might not be right. Why don't more journalists, especially on, say, a big stage, do that? Where I'm going to present a question, I have a point of view, I have a framing of it, but feel free to attack that if you like. Because we're having an open conversation.
Open conversation.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, no, you must accept my frame because I'm a professional and I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, people take themselves too seriously, and that's why that's a lot of why a lot of people aren't successful. This happened recently when I was trying to get some medical information from a hospital about a certain event. And I realized when you go into somewhere and you try to frame it and try to show your knowledge, you don't get anywhere. If you show up to anywhere, even if you do have a level of knowledge about it, if you show up and like, hey, I'm an absolute moron, help me out here. You will get so far away with whatever. And same with my job. I have to interview people all the time. It's a part of my job. I get paid to do this. When I talk to someone on the phone or talk to someone in person, my job isn't try to bamboozle them with my linguistic trickery. I'm coming in there to be simple. I'm like, hey, I might be wrong here. Show me where I might be wrong. And then they start talking, and then they give more of their perspective. If you go into an interaction with someone with the understanding and the premise that I am smarter than you and I know more than you, they instinctively don't want to talk to you because those people are arrogant and they suck and nobody likes them at parties.
Now, one extreme example I saw was it was Jordan Peterson, and it wasn't the New York Times interview. A hit job was done when he talked to the New York Times, where he's like, he believes in forced monogamy. Where he's like, yeah, having culture standards where monogamous relationships should be the standard. But they spun it to mean like he wants to make it illegal, like start outlawing. It's like, no. But that's the gotcha quote. The one that's the worst example is because he had been through those types of experiences, Peterson recorded this entire interview he had with a journalist, I believe from the Telegraph. And the interview, and you can listen to it, and I did. I'm like, she sounds reasonable in this interview. And, like, they're giving very honest answers, too, like Jordan is. And then all of a sudden, you read the piece she puts out. I'm like, you're a literal demon, lady.
Yep.
Like, you're a bad person the way you twisted everything. You're not a good person. And I guess good for you. You pay the mortgage, right, honey?
Well, I see that a lot, especially like Dave Portnoy. I mean, he'll come out ahead of it and say, hey, this article's coming out. It's all lies. They didn't reach out to me. There was one in particular where he did this big pizza festival. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. Had like 4,500 people show up for this big pizza festival. One writer called one of the people that was participating in the pizza festival in order to just try to slam Dave ahead of time. Don't you think Dave is monogamous? Don't you think Dave hates women? Don't you think?
Right.
And, and they were like, no, that's not it at all. But if you read her article, the way she framed it, they agreed with everything she said, and that wasn't the case. But Dave Portnoy being Portnoy, he got ahead of it, or got a hold of the information ahead of time. He kind of released his own stuff ahead of time. He said, hey, this is coming. This is what they said. It's all a lie. Ask me.
And Vivek did the same thing with that question. And what people don't realize, it's a principle that you can shear a sheep many times, but you can only skin him once. So when you go into these interviews or whatever, and you present yourself with under an auspice that you're more friendly or more in agreement than you are, and then you just write a piece that burns the individual, that's the only time you get to do that. I prefer to have a well that I can go back to multiple
That's what
times.
I want to ask you, because I've run into people with business. Instead of doing legit, they will hit you. They'll get a big hit, what they call a big hit. They'll hit somebody one good time. Well, that doesn't do you any good.
Nope.
All you do is go around and you say broke all the time because your reputation has caught up with you.
Oh, yeah.
So in journalism, if you go to someone and you're just a constant, that person that's doing the gotcha, how do they ever get any interviews?
Well, what if everybody else at your level of prestige is playing the same game?
Well, they are, but that's the problem, which is why the politicians tend to give phony answers, because they realize that they, to a certain extent, for messaging purposes, have to talk to the press, but they do so in a very specific, measured way. I've had repeatedly people have told me, it's like, I never understand how you get people to say the things that you do, because I'll write things where people say something that's a little bit revealing, and number one is I don't act like I know more than them, and B is I let them talk and listen.
There you go. Well, we do have to hit a break here, and then hopefully we get Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances on the line. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And guys, two things can affect men most as we mature. One is erectile dysfunction, another low testosterone, and both are nothing to deny, put off, or be ashamed about. It's not something to wait to get fixed. I know guys hate going to the doctor. I am that way, but Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. So if you're lacking motivation, energy, always tired, perhaps you're seeing unwanted weight gain and loss of muscle mass, even a decreased sex drive, just feel like you're walking through life in a fog. Well, knowing whether or not you have low T is huge to combating some of these issues. So the providers at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health, low T treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Joey.
Ain't nothing wrong at all. You could actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, and Dot, we're ready to roll into a new year.
Happy New Year.
Well, tell me what's going on here at Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall.
The booths are being restocked. The hot cider is going. The rocking chairs are here, and there are great sales going on in some of the booths. Really and truly, there's some neat stuff around here. You need to come in and see it.
Shouldn't people plan to come maybe spend some time and find all the treasures here at Eastbrook?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got some that come in and spend their lunch hour, and they bring their lunch and eat as they shop around, and which is fine with me. But then some come and spend the whole day, and I just love that.
Do you have any events coming up soon?
Anniversary sale will be here in February. Don't know the exact date yet, but listen for the ad. Come shop that day because it'll be a great event.
All right, Dot, give us the hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The News and Views in the afternoon. I do like those glasses, Eddie. I'm not even making a joke. No, seriously, look good.
I'm trying. I paid my MLS dues, my realtor fees yesterday. Got a fresh haircut, fresh shave, new glasses. I'm ready to sell some houses. Or take a nap, whichever one comes first.
Let's go to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing this Friday?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful.
Doing all right. Eddie here is like, I mean, the thing you showed me.
Yeah.
Off air.
And I still got a smile on my face.
You got a heck of a project ahead of you.
Yeah.
Come.
Yep.
But how's it going at Cohen's today, Michael?
It's going wonderful. Got a nice couple in here from Benton, Alabama, looking at a washer and dryer. And looking at a nice LG front load. So, yeah, it's been a good day.
Is there an advantage to the front load as opposed to kind of the top loader?
The front loads, I think, are more efficient. I think they can do a better job washing. I think that they have some rules that the top loads don't have because everything seals up, so you want to keep the door open so that you don't get a funky odor. I had a front load Maytag for probably about 15 years, and it was downstairs kind of in a dungeon of my barn, and I never had a stinky washer. But I've had customers that have had them, and I think that's because they end up closing that door because it looks better closed than with it cracked, and there's no ventilation, and then we get an odor.
Oh, that's what was happening. Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you keep the door open, and then some of them today, some of the Maytags and everybody, they even have fans in them. So the washer can almost kind of dry your clothes a little bit because it'll keep running those fans to pull all the moisture out. But every washing machine has water in it.
Right.
Kind of like every dishwasher. They kind of retain water. So even when they're not in use, there is a little bit of water in there. And that's what you're trying to overcome by keeping the door cracked.
Well, and folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com to see their great products there, but it's this sort of expertise, this sort of experience working with these different brands that you're going to get from Michael himself and that great team they have there at Cohen. So I need to stop by, whether you're looking for appliances or great fun, like home entertainment, electronic devices. That location, 2515 Eastern Boulevard, right here in Montgomery. Y'all are open 9 to 6 today, and it'd be, 9 to 4 tomorrow?
Yes, sir. You're getting good at this.
Yeah, he is.
I'm working at it. I'm still working at it. But I always appreciate your time, Michael. I hope you have a great weekend.
Well, thank y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, too.
You too, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know that about the Stanky washer.
I keep forgetting to ask him. There's a new product that's come out, and I wanted his advice on it about the washing machine and dryer machine that's all in one. It's all in one. And I imagine they're going to be expensive, but I want to know from Michael the details on that.
A nightmare.
Yeah?
That does. That's just,
Well, what's so nightmarish?
When you have 2 in 1, that just means more stuff to go wrong. The more things you combine into one product, the more likely it is to just...
Well, new technology, sure. But...
Yeah. And people that don't, clean out their washing machines bother me.
Oh.
Immensely. You have to clean that, at least once a year.
You ever see the videos of people taking them apart and there's $40 in the bottom and change in the corner? That's why there's people that will come pick up your old washer for free. That's why, because they know there's $40 in the bottom of the corner of that
Who still has coins? And
Coinstar, baby. Coinstar, which is the greatest scam going. They only take 10%. Of your money.
Only 10%, and it makes an awful sound.
It does.
It does.
It really does.
It sounds like
Especially
Jacob Marley coming to visit you again.
Put a bunch of washers in there, too, yeah.
Oh, no. There's a lady on the live stream commenting named Carol, and she is not happy.
Oh, boy.
She is not happy at all. She says, Trump is successful because he has millions of folks following, willing to ignore every bad thing he does. Financial crimes, high crimes, rape. They don't care. Nothing matters. Yeah, because E. Jean Carroll's so believable. The dude could bury the wife of his kids alone on a golf course and these people would still support him. Well, maybe they had it coming, Carol.
You sound like a very measured lady, Carol.
Understand, Trump will not be buried there. I am the funniest person here. Hey, when Trump gets buried at an actual cemetery, will the folks that supported him seek to get her moved somewhere respectable? I have a friend that does it. He repairs most of them. Okay, thanks for that one. As much as y'all care about gender, you'd think you could get it right.
Hey, Carol, as an expert in funny, you are about as funny as Lou Gehrig's disease.
Never heard of Carol O'Connor? Oh, it's a fella?
Oh,
no.
Girl name. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, no.
What's up, girl name?
On that disappointing note, I'm so sorry for you, sir. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Pro-life advocates are rallying in the nation's capital with an eye on presidential elections that could be heavily influenced by abortion politics. Thousands expected on the National Mall for speeches and a march past the U.S. Capitol and the Supreme Court. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina expected to endorse former President Trump ahead of Tuesday's New Hampshire GOP primary. Mr. Trump has been appearing on the campaign trail with several other former rivals who have endorsed him, including North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. Wall Street is higher and may break its all-time high that was set 2 years ago before the high inflation. All three major indexes now up about 1%. This is SRN News.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans will be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke, or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. And they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. Like it or not, a brand new fresh supply of Arctic air has engulfed the state. Today, windy, colder, high temperature, only in the mid to upper 40s, but that gusty northwesterly wind, occasionally gusting to 20 miles per hour, will make it seem a lot colder. Tonight, another hard freeze, clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 19. Saturday, the sun is out, but the high temperature only makes it into the 30s, perhaps 37. We are back to the teens on Saturday night, maybe 17 for the overnight low. Sunday, still chilly, high only in the mid-40s. Much warmer next week, 57 Monday, 63 on Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
Well, the effects of winter weather are still not over for those living in North Alabama. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency issued warnings last night and into Friday morning regarding the icy conditions of roads and, in some cases, impassable secondary roads in some northern counties. Aaliyah is also announcing the closure of license offices across 8 different counties in northern Alabama due to the weather conditions and roadways. Once the sun melts the ice and snow today, conditions should improve since nighttime temperatures will not be dropping as low as they have done in the past 2 days. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
The winter weather also wreaked havoc on water pipes in 5 different Jefferson County schools. The Irondale Middle School and Clay Chalkville High School both had water pipe breaks that forced the schools to move to e-learning rather than in-classroom learning while repairs were being made. The 3 other pipe breaks occurred in areas of schools that did not affect the classroom schedules. Another shooting has injured 2 people in Mobile. A 34-year-old man and an 8-year-old child were injured by gunfire while riding in a car on Cottage Hill Road. The victims were treated at a nearby hospital. The incident happened on Thursday night. Mobile police say the gunfire came from another vehicle and an investigation is ongoing. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hey, Montgomery drivers, why aren't you driving a new Toyota yet? Drive the best for less event at Toyota Montgomery, where we make it easy to drive the best, safest, and most reliable cars on the road. Come in today and drive the best, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month. Or take over the road in the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. And Toyota Montgomery makes it easy to upgrade your old vehicle by giving you more for your trade. So, what are you waiting on, Montgomery? Drive the best for less before these offers end on January 31st. At Toyota Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Camry MSRP $30,950. RAV4 MSRP $28,214. 12,000 miles per year. 39 month leases. 3638 to its signing. $0 security deposit with proof credit. Plus tax, tag, title, and $995 doc fee.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
I'm also very much of a germaphobe.
Joey
by the
Clark.
Way. Welcome back. News and views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. He's Eddie. He's Craig.
What's up?
And apparently, we have Duke on the line.
Yes, we do.
Hello, Duke.
Y'all some low down individuals.
How you figure?
Wait, are you Carol?
Huh?
Wait, is your real name Carol?
It should be Duchess then.
Duchess Carol?
I be whatever. I be her and him right now. Whatever y'all want me to be right now. But I was gonna ask y'all about a nice little spot. I was in the mood for a little dancing. You know, I wanted to take my wife out dancing. And I was gonna ask you where a nice place in Montgomery we can go dancing.
Oh, I don't know.
What kind of dancing?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have places like America Pies and Apples and Bees and the Liquors and the
only
places,
Applebee's
all
I ever
kind of
did
places in
dancing
Montgomery,
was on
too.
the table because I was drunk and they asked me to leave.
But-
That's the only ever dancing I did at Applebee's.
I've never heard of
Why is
anything
this
more
so
white
damn
trash
well?
than dancing at
You
an
know what?
Applebee's.
Drinking Alabama Slammers.
I'm sorry, we
Wrong
talked
folks
over you,
like-
Duke.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Duke.
No,
I'm
go ahead.
buddy.
Sorry.
Now y'all messed me up now.
You're gonna go dancing.
Yeah. I like my new nickname. So I just thought about something. I meant to mention that the other day. BB, my BB brain. Dang, I like that right there.
BB brain.
Yeah, my man gave me Ron. Ron gave me a name the other week. He said my BB brain go halfway around my head. I like that little BB thing. I like that. That fit me well right there. Smart as I am, because if I released all this smartness on everyone, that y'all couldn't stand it.
I love that.
But anyway, damn, where was I? I'm having what those things you call it?
Brain farts.
Yeah.
Old timers moment. Happens.
Wait.
It happens.
Is it getting worse, Eddie?
You could say that you duked it.
I'm gonna let you get away with that one right now. But what were we talking about now for a minute? Go
Well,
ahead.
you wanted to go dancing, but there's nowhere to dance here.
No, I left that alone for a minute. Y'all was saying something about Trump. Okay, I know where I was gonna go. Okay, what messed my time up and messed me off, threw me off.
Yeah.
These weak guys that ran for president, running behind Trump again. This one cat, the one, the first cat. What's his name? I can't say. Got the Negro name. What's the guy's name?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Valentula.
Vegetable lasagna?
Yeah. Beyonce.
That's real old school,
Beyonce.
brother. Like Vivek.
Something like that. But,
I've met a lot of guys named Vivek here in Montgomery, sure.
But you remember that? I think I heard that name in Roots.
So anyhow, this boy's feet wasn't even cold yet. He all up in Trump along. Just here I am, just jumped in his arm like Superman. I mean, then Tim
Well,
Scott.
I mean, you just know you're jealous, Duke. You know that. You want to jump in
Then
his
the
arms.
Tim Scott, he all up on him all of a sudden. I thought he'd support his, Miss Nikki, and it's from the same state, aren't they?
Duke, do you want to dance with Trump? Is that what this is about?
I think that's what it is about.
Oh, he wants to party with Trump. We already talked about that.
Little booger sugar.
I thought one day, but me and him gonna be on a different level. That we're gonna do all this kissing up and all that, all up in the cornhole and all that. And be doing
I
that.
challenge you to a smack up. You smack me, I smack you, and we rinse and repeat. See who gives out first, Duke. You game?
Hey, Don, me and you gonna hang out there one of those, Don. Okay. We're gonna hook up.
But Duke, are you really
No
surprised that
politics.
people that were too weak to take out Trump are now
But the
supporting
thing
him?
is, though, yes, I mean, walk away. Just say you're not going to support anyone. Don't be weak.
These are politicians. I mean, literally, they are born with a flexible spine for a reason.
They dogged them out like they did.
Sure.
Be a man and do like you say you're going to do on that part.
How many politicians do you
Chris
know
might-
that ever do what they say they're going to do besides Trump?
Chris is going to fold. Chris is going to fold too. You know
Oh, he's
how
done.
it is.
Somebody tempted him with a buffet coupon. He's
Fold
out.
like a taco.
Oh, yeah, they're taking one in front of him and a coupon in front of his face and put it back in his pocket.
He's gone.
No, he probably, he gone. But, I just thinking about this election, though, man. It's not looking good. I don't like neither side.
You think the pallet of bricks has been ordered yet?
The bricks?
Yeah, you think they've been
Yeah,
ordered?
I'm sure they're on standby, actually.
Well,
Hunter Biden's excited when he hears about
I
pallets of
hope
bricks.
nobody get crazy on either side now. We just
I agree,
No,
Duke,
so
but
too.
it's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to
Yeah.
escalate. I think it's just going to escalate.
Yeah.
But not here in
But-
Alabama. We're good. Trump's
No,
going
we're
to go.
good.
Just be a Trump state. So.
I want to send a shout out to a school here, a local school here in Montgomery, Alabama. Bella Cross Academy. Yeah, the governor acknowledged them yesterday. Good thing.
Yeah.
The little school in Montgomery, Alabama.
Mayor Stephen Reed's on the board.
He's in Washington D.C. Yeah,
Well, good for
Okay.
Stephen.
We got the frequent flyer miles.
What's the sidekick name? What's that guy name in the corner, sitting over there in the corner? What's his name?
That's
Oh, my
Craig
name's
Monger.
Craig. Thank Craig and Day Day.
Yeah, what's going on, Craig?
What's happening?
I'm
I'm
not
doing all
looking
right.
at you anything like that. I just heard you talking earlier.
I know
Tim,
you're
so
obviously
good.
looking at me. You said I'm in the corner. Don't lie. You like looking at me. It's okay. I'm a good-looking guy.
Okay.
Nobody puts Craig in the corner.
Duke, you don't know what you're
Okay.
dealing with Craig.
And if you'll notice that shirt he's got on,
And it's not.
he's looking for some action.
And it's not personal. There are a lot of folks who don't know how to deal with Craig.
Water hose.
Okay. Are you in love with Trump like the rest of them, Craig?
No,
You give me my-
no, I'm
nobody
in
right there.
I'm in love with nobody in the political realm.
Amen.
Isn't there a song?
Okay, that's what
T-Pain? I'm in love with a
you
stripper?
might be all right. See, I hope you.
Oh, but I will have to give this caveat that I hate Joe Biden significantly more than just about anyone else. He's been a plate of human garbage for 40 years. So just to let you know where I stand.
Why you don't like Nikki? What's wrong with Nikki?
For the same reason I don't like Joe Biden. They have terrible policy. They're garbage humans, and they go where the wind takes them. They're not principled.
Yeah, essentially bought and paid for.
Yeah.
What about Donald/Obama policies?
Uh,
What about those? You like those? You want those to come back?
You said Obama's policies?
Obama/Trump policies that carried over. You want those policies to come back and all the good times to come back?
No,
What you're looking for in Trump this time around?
I'm not looking for anything in Trump. I'm voting for Stone Cold Steve Austin as the next president of the United States. And I've said that repeatedly, and I'm not joking.
Who's in there?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You know, looking at you, I wouldn't guess that.
No, you wouldn't. But I think he's what America needs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg.
Yeah, completely. I'm starting a movement right now, the Stone Cold movement.
Is he down with it?
What? He's not returning my phone calls.
I see.
I volunteered to be his campaign manager. He's just not returning my phone calls.
Auburn basketball is doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Bruce Pearl's a man.
Yeah. One good thing. All the football players transferring everywhere, all over the.
Has Alabama got enough for a starting line yet? They had quite a few going into the transfer portal.
Boy, it'd be nice, boy, be in high school right now. Just, sign a $1 million contract, to somebody's school, and don't go because somebody gave you $2 at the other school, down the road. Boy, millions of dollars now. That's all right there, boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird because all these people that either committed or are already at Alabama, it's kind of a question mark about what next year's going to look like, and I don't blame it at all for being scared. Same reason all the people that in the Florida State FSU that entered the transfer portal. It's like you can have a perfect season and still not make it. What's your future there?
Well,
Nobody
and
knows.
didn't it's State Rep Jeremy Gray just propose NIL for
In high
high
school? Yes, he did.
That's going to be a strange one to me.
And there are other states that are doing it, but it's just like, it seems like we need to tighten down on
Yeah,
this.
something-
After initially a good idea, I think that's gone a little haywire here. Duke,
like
both-
Junkins from Ole Miss. You know, everybody was surprised at him leaving. I mean, why? Somebody digging some more money.
Well, it's going to become the norm now. Just chasing the money.
But Duke, I want to play a clip for you. It's that shiny bastard Matt Gaetz, but he's our shiny guy. And he had this line that some people are like, it's just not going to help folks. I just want to know what you think of this, Duke. Here's Matt Gaetz. This was on Newsmax the other day.
There's a Julio and a Jamal ready to sign up for the MAGA movement, and that bodes well for our ability to be more diverse and to be more durable as we head into not only the rest of the primary contests, but also the general election.
And I didn't get the full thing here. Hold on one second.
Weather and ice. And these folks came out and voted overwhelmingly for the president. I met with a lot of those folks. This is the blue collar realignment of the Republican Party. And what I could tell you is, like, for every Karen we lose, there's a Julio and a Jamal ready to sign up for the MAGA movement. And
that's the line. For every Karen we lose, there's a Julio and Jamal ready to sign up.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Becky and Joel and Kyle and Tyler or somebody like that.
Hey, Connor, what are you doing this weekend?
Becky, but you always can say Becky. You know who Becky is now. Tyrone and Deontay. And
don't forget Vivek.
Very
common name. Very common.
Bettaluto, whatever the hell that boy's name is.
You know, funnily enough, I've met more white Tyrones than black.
Really?
No BS.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, it's weird. I think I don't know where that came from.
Well, I guess we're all just, it's becoming a more inclusive society.
Hey,
Melting
Joey,
yeah?
there's only one move for you, though, darling.
Oh, and look at the time. We don't have more time for you, Duke. Well, look at that. Appreciate you, man.
Bye, Duke.
272-9228. Before I forget, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out with home buying. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. They're great. If you are a first-time home buyer, they'll walk you through that entire process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. And there aren't going to be any surprises on closing day when you work with Alabama Home Mortgage. They're also helping out a lot of folks right now with refinance deals, especially if you're a veteran. That is the best game in town. What, you can refinance up to 100%?
100%. That's right, Joey.
Woo. That is, that's very nice. So if you have equity built up in your home and you're trying to get out from under a mountain of credit card debt, or maybe it's other types of debts you'd like to consolidate, pay down, or it could be you want to reinvest in your family, reinvest in your property. It's your money you built up within the house. You can use it how you wish. And Alabama Home Mortgage can give you, well, advice and get you the best possible deal depending on your goals when it comes to refinancing. So check them out today. You can always call Kim and Madeline at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always go online to myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. And MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Let's go to Mr. Pink.
All right.
Mr. Pink, how you doing, sir?
How you guys doing, man?
Pretty good.
All right, y'all holding it down as normal. I don't have much to say, but I was thinking, it had just hit me. I think I know why Republicans and Democrats don't get along.
Okay.
And I know how we can fix it.
What you got?
As a Democrat, I would like to say I accept your apology. I'm going to tell you why. I don't think Democrats and Republicans are even friends anymore after the Supreme Court with Merrick Garland. Merrick Garlick, I think that's his name. I think ever since then, it's no trust on either side, you know? And I think, because I was thinking, like, should we just forget about it, just move on? And, like, I can do that, but I'm thinking of some people that's just like, you know what, that's it, you know? So, you know, that's what I think was going on. I think guys just need to apologize and say, hey, man, that was wrong, my bad, you know? Then Democrats say, I accept your apology and let's be better, you know? Got anything you want to add to that?
Have you been drinking today?
No, I'm at work right now.
Oh.
Never stop me, man. Never stop me.
No, like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is the dirty pool of the political process. I think it's a shame when everyday people, and it's not, you know, sometimes they're just true cultural differences. People don't want to hang out together. But if everyday people are hating on each other because of something Mitch McConnell did to, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats and Merrick Garland, I think that's just the political game. And it's unfortunately the race of the bottom that we're heading toward.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was just a little nasty the way it was done, because it was like, yeah, I punched you, or I got your girlfriend, or I'm going to put it in your face. It was just like real nasty how it was done. Like I said, I understand the game. But
I mean, this is the same country that, Jack Kennedy gets shot right in the head, and some people cheer to the point we were talking about earlier in the week. Things have, I think, actually have gotten better. I'm not saying it's great, but things have gotten a lot better than where we were. I think people forget how nasty the 60s were. Don't get me started on the 19th century and the Civil War and all that stuff. I mean, life in this country, despite all the sound and fury and division, is a lot better than a lot of times we've had.
I agree. Well, you're not going to hear me call and talk about I need reparations. Because if you want something in America, you can just sue.
Good point.
There you go.
Right.
Good
guys
point.
have a good one.
You too, Mr.
Spink. 272-9228. How about this? Let's hit a break. And take a breath. And we'll be right back to News and Views in the afternoon.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hey there, River Region area. Dawson Electric hopes you had an amazing Christmas and a fantastic New Year. As we step into 2024, it's time to tackle those resolutions and make sure your home or business is in tip-top shape. And for all your electrical needs, there's one name you can trust, Dawson Electric. Whether you're planning a remodel, constructing a new home, or require service for your existing electrical systems, Dawson Electric has got you covered. Need emergency generators installed? Looking to enhance your outdoor space with stunning landscape lighting? Dawson Electric is the answer. We do it all, for homes and commercial spaces alike. For more information, you can find us on Facebook. Search for Dawson Electric Company, LLC. Hit the like button and stay connected with us. We're happy to speak with you at any time. Just call 334-270-8024. Say it with me. That's 334-270-8024. For all your electrical service needs for home or business, call us at Dawson Electric. Dawson Electric, lighting up your world.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Wake it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
Hi, I'm Todd with River Region Contracting, a premier roofing contractor. Most people don't think that they have a roofing problem until they see water spots and stains on their ceiling. By then, it may be a little too late because the wooden decking that supports their shingle or metal roof may be holding moisture, causing it to rot. Most insurance companies will not pay for the decking, causing you to pay more money out of your own pocket. Why not call us today and set up an appointment for a free roofing inspection? It could save you some money. Call us at 334-356-8635 or go to riverregioncontracting.com or like us on Facebook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Well, so far, I think we've had a lot of fun today, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Just oodles.
Yeah, and then a surprise call from a U.S. Senator. I mean, it's a good day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody listens. So.
People like her will call, and yeah.
And then we have all these Looney Tunes who also listen. Like, I mean,
everybody listens,
everybody
Joey.
does.
I mean, everybody does.
But I want to just check in on the news, see if we've missed anything while we're having some fun. And one of the breaking news items is Alec Baldwin indicted for manslaughter. So apparently this case he wriggled out of, what is this case, like 2-3 years old now?
At least 3 years, I
something
think.
like that.
Seriously, time has done a weird warp ever since COVID. Like
Right.
that
Oh,
COVID
yeah.
year felt like forever, and the last 2-3 years have just flown by.
Yeah.
Really have. But apparently Baldwin has now been indicted on involuntary manslaughter in this Rush shooting. A New Mexico grand jury indicted him on today, Friday, after hearing evidence at a closed hearing. You know, and his case was a perfect example, in my humble opinion, of how we still, as much as we think we're Americans, we're all equal, we're all middle class. Like Baldwin shot and killed a woman. Now, maybe it was an accident, maybe it wasn't. If it's involuntary manslaughter, probably an accident, if that's what they're getting him on. But do you remember the George Stephanopoulos interview they did with Baldwin right after this happened?
It's very uncomfortable.
Where it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
And low lighting, and he's crying, and not just low, but stark lighting with black backdrops and all that. And I'm like, why is he getting this treatment? He killed a woman.
Illuminati. That's
What?
why he got Illuminati. That's why he got that treatment.
Illuminati?
You don't think he's part of that?
What do you mean by Illuminati? Go ahead.
He's in the above you and me circle of life right now. And there's Oprah. There's several of those people that are
Well, the one I always think of in situations like this is Bruce Jenner, who it's like
Great
straight
example.
up wasn't paying attention, plowed into a car,
Great
killed
example.
a woman, and then 5 minutes later it's like, hey, I'm a girl now, and people forgot about the fact that, oh, you negligently slaughtered a woman in her car.
And then didn't ESPN or somebody made Caitlyn the woman of the year?
Yeah. Shows you what we define as virtue in this culture. It's like you can literally kill someone for not paying attention on the road.
Yeah, it's like,
And,
hold up. There's more to being a woman than filler in a nice rack. All right, come on, let's hope.
Yeah. Well, that Ricky Gervais's joke following that, I think at the Emmy or the Golden Globes, where he said, Caitlyn Jenner has done much to advance trans rights, and she's been a hero. She didn't do too much for women drivers, but
that was my thought.
Yeah.
Now, in other breaking news, as we've been having fun and talking today, this is from Deadline. Sports Illustrated's entire staff told their jobs have been eliminated after Authentic Brands revokes license to publish. Now, the union's vowing to fight back and fight for every one of our colleagues. But, I mean, talk about just, maybe it was inevitable, but a change in media. Like, as a kid growing up, Sports Illustrated was a fixture.
Oh, yeah, man. You got the football phone. Everybody got a subscription because you got a cool thing. You got a football phone, T-shirt. You got all kinds of stuff. The Sports Illustrated, for me, especially in high school, that was my connection to sports.
Yeah, apparently the entire staff of the 7-year-old print and online publication was notified on Friday their jobs are being eliminated.
Well, when's the last time you picked up one of their mags?
I can't remember the last time.
Even in an airport, I usually grab a book.
I wonder how many. That's got to be a pretty hefty staff.
so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
It's definitely got to be a big staff. I'm looking here for the exact numbers. I'm not seeing it. But let's see what the operator put out there as the notification. We appreciate the work and efforts of everyone who has contributed to the SI brand and business. Wow, that's terse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Said the proctologist.
Gonna be left out in the cold. But the CEO of this group, Ross Levinson, was ousted in December in the wake of an embarrassing revelation that Sports Illustrated had relied on AI-generated contributors who were not, in fact, actual human writers. Wow. Yeah, and the more I mess with AI, I'm like, it's easy to spot. If somebody just tells the AI, write this thing, it's actually pretty easy to spot still.
Some people in the state.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Interesting.
that.
We'll talk.
Not surprising,
Okay.
but interesting.
No, not surprising at all.
Yeah.
I think the AI, like writing tools, are a fun punch-up tool. They're fun to like stretch an idea out. But if you're trying to replace human beings with these things, it's going to come across as like that uncanny valley. Like it's mimicking being human, and it's off-putting to a certain extent.
You want a quick tip, by the way? If an article in this state starts with the headline of "In the Heart of Dixie,"
Is that right?
Really?
Now that you say that, I can think of several I've read here lately.
Yeah. No, and because I've been messing with these AI things, like for creating video shorts, it does give you these automatic, supposed to be SEO friendly, viral headlines, and they're often like, I'm not using that. That's just like that's weird. It doesn't sound human more than half the time. So
I don't know how to use ChatGPT, but I know how to use the software that tells you if something was written by ChatGPT.
Well, there you go. I like that a little better, actually.
Well,
yeah, I want to, but it's like there's certain things I don't want to fool around with just because I don't trust myself with them. It's like I don't, dude. I don't even want the temptation.
I
here.
live
It's
my
like,
life a lot like that.
Well, and if something is like a press release, essentially, just put in-
that's pretty. Yeah,
I can see why people might use it. But if you're putting out like opinion pieces
That's my
and
thought,
like
yeah.
investigative reports, and it ain't actual human beings, sharing their opinions or investigating,
The investigative stuff is hard with AI because you're gathering all the novel facts for the most part. But if it's something historical or something opinion, that's the ones that are always going to be, or not always. If something's written by AI, it's going to be those.
Now, I'm seeing here. Oh no, maybe this is why Nikki Haley's so hopeful. But the headline, well, at least on Citizen Free Press, is that DeSantis is at 6% in New Hampshire.
That's not surprising.
Like we were saying earlier, what a
Falling off the
sad
pace, man.
choice he made. Yeah, that's very frustrating to see. And let me go to 1819news.com, see what's broken in the afternoon. Alabama labor force participation unemployment rates up in December. That is from the desk at Caleb Taylor there.
Hey, Caleb.
How you doing, sir? He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
We need to get him on the show here, actually. I think he'd be...
I don't know if he's ever actually done a radio hit. I'm not sure.
I'd love to have him on. Oh, look at this. So the race in District 2 is heating up a
Very
great
much
deal.
so.
And apparently Caroline Dobson just released her first TV ad.
Oh, really?
You want to do the whole
Yeah.
let's watch it and assess it thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And then in fairness, I'll try to find the Dick Brubaker one and we'll play that and watch it too. But yeah, here, let's pull this up for the
It's always the
folks.
same lighting. The exact same lighting.
Yeah. Wait, is there going to be one of my favorite
Oh, boy.
ad moves is like the sparkly music. Like, I believe in sunshine and hugs for everyone. And then it goes into a minor key, like these weird alien tones. But my opponent believes in killing puppies.
I think you are going to hear a mandolin. I've not heard this, by the way.
Oh, you're thinking
going to hear
country.
a mandolin, and
Okay.
you're going to see a lot of livestock. That's her
Maybe a
thing.
steel guitar, like
Yeah,
a
possibly.
like a
I'm
slide.
going with Craig on that
Yeah,
one. I
we'll
think
see.
that's where we're going.
The livestock
We
is
don't
a
know.
guaranteed one.
We don't
She's
know.
endorsed by Farm Pack. It says it right
That's-
there. There's going to be livestock.
At least it's not going to be Dale Peterson's ad. For
Yeah.
years. We might have to pull that one up just for fun.
Yes.
But here is the ad for Caroline Dobson. If you want to watch this, folks, you can go to the live stream, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Or just go to 1819news.com. They've got the article there. But here it is.
Out here, the job's never done. I'm Caroline Dobson. Alabama values aren't complicated. God and family, but that takes freedom. Freedom to have a voice in our kids' education, to feel safe, freedom to worship. But Biden's reckless policies are crippling us. Illegals flooding in while our towns die on the vine. Alabama deserves better. I'm I'm Caroline Dobson. I approve this message because I'll never stop until the job is done.
Okay, I was wrong. I was expecting some sort of country style music, and it turns out Hans Zimmer did it. I did
that, or for a second, it sounded like an Adele song.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking Michael Bay or Hans Zimmer. Those are the things that were going through my mind with the music.
No, that's
bad.
not
And
bad.
I enjoyed the.
That's not
I
bad.
think Craig did too. The Biden cameo. I
The
enjoyed that.
confused Biden cameo.
Roomba.
Well, and we had to use the word crippled, right? Yeah.
Because the R word isn't allowed.
Yeah.
There you go.
It should be.
It should be.
It
And there's
should
a lot
be.
of people in the state that are the best example of why it still should be.
No, and by the way, if you still seriously listen to Green Day for the message, you're R-worded.
Yeah.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Wow.
Like maybe like in the 90s when that first album came out. And you're
Maybe.
like, yeah.
Maybe you're going to be the one to. Oh, no, that never. I was going to quote.
Didn't
That's
they
not a
write
Green
the-
Day song. I apologize.
When the last Seinfeld episode, didn't we listen to Green Day on the way out and have it all an emotional moment then? That not what we did?
Wait, what's the last song in Seinfeld?
It was a Green Day song. Oh, darn it. Now I can't think of it. I can hear it in my head, but yeah, I mean, I thought that's when Green Day was officially accepted by everyone. Not the case.
I thought it was when The Simpsons made fun of them.
Well, they don't like being made fun of. They're kind of sensitive.
It's like a 45-year-old man in eyeshadow getting mad about the system, man.
Yeah, man. No,
Man.
so here is the Dick Brubaker ad, and this is again District 2, Montgomery, right in the center of District 2 here.
The federal courthouse.
Yeah, that is. That's a good man. The drone footage in some of these ads really is getting pretty daggone.
Yeah, and drones are getting cheaper and cheaper, so it's more common.
And by the way, I like Caroline Dobson. From just talking to her, they
Yeah.
really do love horseback riding,
Yeah.
and so it's like
she's for real.
seeing the beginning of the ad with the horse.
No, she
and
actually
everything.
looked like she knew how to ride a horse, which when you put most people on there, you can tell in a hurry.
Yeah,
they
you're
don't
talking.
know
You're
how
talking to
ride.
one right now.
And when's the last time you hopped on a horse? And
10
I don't mean
years.
that as a euphemism.
No, it's been a few years, probably 7 or 8 years. I'm at that age now. Honest to God, this is sad. I've come to this conclusion. I'm at that age now where there are things I cannot do and won't be able to do anymore because I'm too old.
Like parasailing?
Well, I might do that, but like my 3-day fishing trips I used to go on, I can't do them anymore. man.
I'll hop on a parasail. I'll hop on a jet ski. I'll hop on a quad bike before
I'm
I hop on
always
a
over
horse.
that.
Before I
Oh,
hop on a horse.
Yeah, horses. I like horses. A lot of people don't.
They try to bite my feet and buck me off every time I've ever gotten on one. They try to bite my feet.
It really has been years since I've been on a horse.
I think that, honestly, it's been a while. I think the last time a buddy of mine, Rodney, told me he'd never ridden a horse, and we drove from South Carolina to Virginia to my sister's place. She had a ranch up there, and we rode horses. Like
No,
2 in
it's
the morning.
pretty. It is fun, like, especially if you're just trotting around, walking around. But it is a little that first. And the last time I did this, I was a kid, so maybe it's exaggerated. You finally get a horse into some speed.
Yeah.
And for a second, it's a little intimidating. You're
Oh,
like, how
sure.
do people do this?
Well, when you feel them, you're just like, oh, you're not. This isn't This is just a condensed package of pure power that can do with me whatever it will.
And you're holding on with 2 strings.
The only time I've ever felt that is whenever I rolled in jiu-jitsu with a Russian guy in the Air Force, and I've touched him. I'm like, oh, you're made of wood.
So anyway, here is the Dick Brubaker ad for Congress. Let's listen in together and watch together, folks.
Livestock. My life has always revolved around serving our community.
It's really cool.
And let me tell you, it's returned the blessings. I have a wonderful wife, 5 sons, and now grandkids. But here's what weighs on my mind these days. I never thought I'd worry that my kids and grandkids would live to see this republic fail. It breaks my heart to see so many people turning away from common sense and forgetting what's right and wrong. It hurts me to see the media, woke corporations, and liberal politicians sow division for their own profit. Here's some things we can all agree on. Liberty, security, and limited government. That's what America stands for. When I was in the legislature, I promised I'd only serve 2 terms, and I honored that pledge, so you know my word is good. Now we need leaders who know right from wrong and have the guts to say it, even if it's unpopular. Leaders who want to do the work for the people. So I decided to come back and run for Congress, to step up and make a difference for our country and our community. And I'm asking for your help to do it. What better gift can we give our children than a lighter burden, lower prices, a secure border, and a strong economy? That's what should matter. Believe me, together we can turn this around and make a real difference. When I worry about our future, I try to remember the Psalms. He honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps an oath even when it hurts, and does not change their minds. I'm Dick Brubaker. Liberty, security, and limited government. And I approve this ad.
It's a damn good ad.
Pretty good. The music is just out of this world.
It's over the top.
It's a very
well at the end of it too. You're ramped up. I mean, it kind of ramps you in slow, and towards the end of the deal, you know what I want them to do? I want them to implement a Wagnerian leitmotif whenever they do it, so that way I recognize a particular song for this specific individual.
Oh,
I want
yeah,
to be
yeah.
consistent. I think the leitmotif is underused in political advertising.
Okay, so when you hear, it's like when you're watching a movie and there's that theme. So when
Yeah.
the lovers or whatever,
yeah.
that the theme starts when they first meet, and then it goes full blown later. And
Well, it's like if you watch Lord of the Rings, anytime you see some of the riders of Rohan, the Rohan music comes
Right.
on. Anytime you see Gondor, the music of Gondor comes on. So it's connecting the music with an individual or a place.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Well, I don't know. I'd imagine as folks our age, and actually Caroline Dobson's younger than you, Eddie, right?
I believe so.
Our junior senator's younger than you, right?
certainly
Yeah, I'm the old man. I get it, man.
All right.
Get it.
Right.
Catching
Is
up to
Tommy
it.
Tumberfield younger than
No,
you?
thank God.
Hey, Ivy looks younger than me.
Seriously, has anybody ever seen Governor Ivy and Ric Flair in the same room? I think I'm on to something here.
They do share a wardrobe.
If she ever uses a teleprompter, I'm going to sneak in and put WHOOO in there just to see if I can get it. Ha ha, gotcha.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm giving short shrift to Greg Albritton because I've heard good things about him. I haven't met the guy once or twice. I'm impressed with his intelligence and his command of a lot of issues.
He's
but
a bright guy.
I'm not. To me, the race is between Dick Brubaker and Caroline Dobson.
Yes, that seems to be the way it's laying out. None of these, by the way, none of these ads are as impressive as. Have you ever seen Tennessee's Basil Marceau?
Basil Marceau.
Okay, I'll send it to you. You don't have to do it on air, or you can. It'll be hilarious. But it's not actually a message or a campaign ad. It's just he was one of those guys that ran for just about everything, like governor and everything. He actually made several radio hits. He was famous there for a minute. But I'll send it to you, actually.
And while you're finding that and sending that to me, I'm trying to find a classic
Dale Peterson.
Alabama hat.
Yep.
I think it's his first one here, right?
Yeah, we're better than that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is a blast from the past, folks. I hope y'all remember this one. Dale Peterson, what was he running for even in this cycle? Agricultural Commissioner, yeah. So let's listen into this blast from the past.
It's muted, dog.
Oh, man. There we go. Let's back it.
I'm Dale Peterson, and I'm after the Republican nomination for Alabama Agriculture Commissioner. I've been a farmer, a businessman, a cop, a Marine during Vietnam. So listen up. Alabama Ag Commissioner is one of the most powerful positions in Alabama, responsible for $5 billion. Bet you didn't know that. You know why? Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with all that money. And they don't give a rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms a day. Illegals bust in by the thousands, and Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why? We're Republicans. We should be better than that. I'm Dale Peterson. I'll name names and take no prisoners. Give me the Republican nomination for Ag Commission, and let's show Alabama we mean business.
That was 13 years ago.
Man, really?
Dale.
I don't know, but 13 years ago.
He transcended into being one with the universe, I believe.
Well, the last thing I heard in public about Dale Peterson, remember when he got in trouble for shoplifting, quote unquote?
I do remember that now, yeah.
And his explanation was, I didn't mean to. Only intention I had when I crossed that line, I think it was a verbatim quote, the only intention when I crossed that line was to go pee.
Yep.
He was just trying to go to the bathroom.
Right, and he forgot, yeah.
Yeah, in front, I didn't pay for these things yet.
But if you're gonna pull out a rifle in an ad, I would prefer if it was something that shot something bigger than 45 long cold. Just saying.
Well, and
get
by
like
the
a
way,
45
Yeah, but
70. That makes a statement.
We're a very small percentage of anybody that's actually going to pick that out. Most people are going to go, ooh, we got to
Well,
go.
the same people that would be appealed to by that ad are the people that would notice.
I hope so.
Though the music in this one compared to the other two, like I want to go.
I see Kevin Costner riding
Yeah.
a horse with a lasso on a prairie with that music.
Right. Yeah.
Robert Duvall close behind.
I was gonna say Cormac McCarthy, but his music would be a little more like. You ever read Blood Meridian, Eddie?
Can't say that I have.
Have you ever read a book?
Read many a book, but never
Name
that
one.
particular one.
Name one.
The last one I read. In fact, I took a picture of it. Hold on.
It's one of the great American novels, Eddie.
I got this on order just the other day, just to satisfy Joey. Give me 2 minutes. It hasn't got here yet. Oh, what was the name of that book?
And you took a picture of it.
Yeah, because I knew this was going to come. I think it was How to Torture a Narcissist. That's the name of my book.
How to Torture a Narcissist.
Yeah, my new book that I got coming.
Well, just jump inside my head. You can find out right now.
A little self-flagellation there.
I just
Something
got
like
it. I mean,
that.
I'm doing some work, some research. Thought you'd be proud of me for that.
No, I asked you to name one book you've read, and you looked up a picture of a book you haven't read. You mail ordered.
I guess the last book I read was when we went to Jamaica. I don't remember what it was, but it was a rom-com book.
What?
Yeah.
It was the instructions on the back of Topps rolling paper.
Wait, Nicholas Sparks? Really?
No, it was like, no, darn it.
D.H. Lawrence? Really? You're reading Lady
Beach
Chatterley's Lover in this day and age?
No, it was a beach romance. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but I got it. I'll bring it to you if you'd like.
Was there a person with a six-pack with a woman draped over him on the cover?
No.
Oh, just wondering.
No, it was.
So it wasn't a horrible.
It was a lady that was running from danger, basically. She lived in Jamaica. The Jamaica thing is what got me. Sorry. I'm a sucker
Yeah,
for
man.
Jamaica.
We got to hit this break. We do have to hit this break. But first, as part of the program, brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you fellas out, especially if you're dealing with something like low testosterone, ED, erectile dysfunction, even PE, you know, that premature thing. And it's nothing to deny. If you're having these sorts of issues, nothing to be ashamed about. And it's not something to wait to get fixed. You should go by the doctor, folks. I know you hate doing it. I'd hate doing it. But at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're ready to help you out. In fact, they were created just for guys like us. So if you're lacking motivation, energy, always tired, living life like you're in a fog, maybe you're just haunted by past memories of your younger self, you go all day, all night without petering out, so to speak. Well, Montgomery Men's Health can help you pinpoint why you might feel that way. They can conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. There are even urologists now suggesting that men should start getting their T-checked even at the age of 18. So it's not just for guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Even if you're a young man and you're feeling these symptoms, check out what Montgomery Men's Health can teach you. You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. Most men after these treatments at Montgomery Men's Health can experience higher energy, better gains at the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, faster metabolism. You might even notice an increased sex drive. So call them today. That's 440-3663, 440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them that you heard about them here on News and Views, that Joey guy on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
When you commit a fraud, there's lots of rationalizing that you do to commit your fraud and still live with yourself.
Aaron Beam was the CFO at Health South, based in Birmingham, Alabama, and in 1996 he made the decision to cook the books. We'll have the story here. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon, or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hey, this is Randy and Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center.
Hey, Randy, tell me about those hot chicks I've been hearing about.
Now, Tammy, I don't know any since we got married.
No, Randy, the baby chicks.
Oh, yeah, we're getting Rhode Island Reds, Americanas, Buff Orpingtons, and about 6 other different varieties.
Plus ducks, turkeys, geese, and guineas.
Hey, and raising chickens is a great family project.
And you get to look forward to fresh eggs.
Visit Prattville Farm Center at 1154 South Memorial Drive and pick up your hot chicks today.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. The news and views in the afternoon. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the program, that's 272-9228. Man, a lot of comments flying in here. This is crazy. I wasn't even keeping up with all this. But I appreciate everybody interacting and having some fun. Let's see. Pat and Deb Burbank said, "Hey, Joey, just figured out how to watch you on live stream." Well, welcome to both of you, Pat and Deb. Don't you love the joint account? Actually, I'm being serious right now. I think that's a safer way to engage on social media, especially if you're a married couple. Just saying. You might have a professional reason to have your own page, but I kind of like the joint accounts at times. Let's go to the phones real quick and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Hey, it's a Friday afternoon. We're doing great, of course. How are y'all doing?
Doing quite well. It's a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Salem went and had her wisdom teeth snatched out of her head today.
You gonna let her do the ad?
Nope. You don't understand the words she's saying right now. I went by to see her, and she mumbled something. I'm like, yeah, you're pretty nice. Go back to sleep. Man, to be a teenager again, I wouldn't want that life for nothing.
Not nowadays, no thanks.
No, they can't get away with nothing.
Right.
I mean, nothing. They got Life 360 on their phone. We know where they are every moment. Mom and Dad would have had a heart attack if they know what we were doing to their kids.
Yep.
There's some things that they don't need to find out until we get in front of God and they tells on us. Then it's too
This
late.
is true. This is so true.
Yeah, so, but hey, listen, if y'all need a floor, call us, 285-8117. We're going to come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down just that quick.
Again, that number for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. They're great folks to work with, a lot of great options for you. And, well, be sure to tell Ray and the team when you call them at 285-8117 that you heard them here on the radio with Joey and Eddie and throwing bonus points. Craig was on there, too.
Hey, and y'all have a great weekend. I'm going to go home in a little while and pick at Salem for the rest of the weekend.
All right, man. Have a good one, Ray.
Later, Ray.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Now, Craig, you found this, and who's this? Basil Marceau?
This is Basil Marceau.
Basil Marceau.
He was in Tennessee. He ran for several races, but this was him, his gubernatorial race, I believe.
Okay.
This was Basil Marceau's downfall, or as he believes, his doorway to fame.
I'd like to recall all permit and registration for guns. Everyone can carry guns. If you kill someone, no, you get murdered, or you go to jail.
As a gubernatorial
Oh, wait,
candidate,
this isn't
Marceau
the
was
clip. Oh,
offered a man and a
dadgummit.
free.
This isn't the full clip. This is some news thing.
Oh, okay.
I sent you the wrong one. I'm so sorry.
That's cool.
We can do it another time.
Another time. Let's go to Eric the dog. Hey, Eric.
What up, dog?
Hola.
Hola. How are you?
Don't get me going. Second. Y'all were talking about big dogs and little dogs earlier.
Yeah.
We actually had Chihuahuas and Great Danes together. The Great Danes died, but we still got the Chihuahuas. They run together.
Who was the boss?
The Chihuahuas.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they ran that thing, but I mean, it was funny to watch them play because the Great Danes start doing zoomies and jump on the couch and go sliding across the floor. That's a unique experience. Got a 150-pound dog doing laps through the house. Don't get in the way and watch that tail.
I bet.
That thing will definitely.
Oh, clear a
definitely
coffee
get your
table
attention.
like crazy, too.
Man, we lived in a trailer with one of them, and she went to wagging her tail, and she busted out the window. Her bed was, big enough to go next to a night table, and she came up there to wake me up, and she wagged her tail and bust the window out. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What you gonna
And
do?
they're when they get full grown, they're just at that right height. If you're a man, you need to pay special attention.
Yeah. They'll bring you to
Yeah,
your knees.
They will catch you. They will catch you. They will catch y'all. Well, y'all sound like y'all been having fun today.
Yes, we have.
Y'all, Greg's on when Craig's on there and y'all are on there. Y'all sound good together, and I like the dynamic.
Well, I
need to
appreciate it,
support
man.
again.
Thank you very much.
Well, for some of the screenshots, I think we look good together too.
Oh yeah,
people have put out quite a few screenshots.
Glasses do a lot for you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
You do your own taxes, don't you?
Yeah, we're rowdy, but we're lovable.
Gives them another 20 IQ points.
This makes my face sweat more.
Well, I appreciate it, Eric.
All right, y'all.
See you, bro.
We really only have like 30 seconds left. Hey, Papa B, can you do something in 30 seconds?
In 30
yeah,
seconds, yeah. Eddie, Joey was not giving us an example of self-flagellation a while ago. He was giving us an example of self-flatulation.
Oh.
So only those that
Wait,
were...
but how can you fart on behalf of another? Serious question.
No, you were doing it on yourself, dude.
You're
Stop
farting on
smelling your
yourself.
own. Stop worrying about it, you navel-gazing goofball.
Well, I thought you were going to
Anyway.
talk about masturbation. Well, whew,
No,
dodge that bullet.
no.
Thank you, Papa
That's
B.
somebody else's stick right there. All right, bye.
Later, brother.
Literally.
I hear you. I heard that. That was a good one.
So, do we learn anything today?
Nah, really.
Not really. I'm going to steal a little more time. Just say it to hi, Randall.
Hey, Randall.
Hey, Randall.
What's up, fella?
How you doing, brother?
I mean, I love it. AI, y'all go, if you got Meta AI, go ask who's the best radio FM host in the state of Alabama. I'm not even going to tell y'all. You can't, in Facebook, you do got a type of AI and message you can go holler at. And man, I asked y'all who the best about everything in Montgomery. Y'all gonna love it. I love y'all. We'll see you.
See you, Randall. Love you, brother.
And on that note, we got to get out of here. Thank you two gentlemen for being here today. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell, Rosie, and I think I see Jay Quellen.
Jay Quellen.
Is that Jay Quellen?
Yeah, it is.
They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WAC